Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Good to be back with you here on Terra Firma. Dom Giordano Show.
Hello, Philadelphia!
And I said 4!
You got it!
Thank you. 12:15. I need some analysis out there. Be on YouTube. Dan, where do they go? And can you get a magnifying lens, like a super lens on YouTube?
I can actually zoom in, I think. So let's see if I can get that going here in a second.
Yeah, 12:15.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. Go like and subscribe and go check out what the heck we're talking about here.
Yeah, seriously, if you're a lawyer, a doctor, or both, we'll tell you what happened yesterday. And I'm not prepared to say the name of the place yet. I'm letting Luke, who was the voice of, well, he wasn't really.
Let's just say you're looking very black and blue today, Dub.
He said, if one more ball comes close to us, we'll just throw it into the woods. I would never do that, Dan. That's not my style.
So you got hit with a golf ball?
Yeah, I got hit with a golf ball
Oy.
yesterday. And the backstory is this. Now, you know enough about golf, right?
Well, that's questionable.
On the 7th hole at this course, it was only a 9-hole course. These guys, you have to give people 15 to 30 seconds to leave the green area. It's not like when you putt and put the flag back in, you got to race. The ball is coming down. It hit on the green maybe 5 or 6 seconds after we just placed the flag in the hole to get off the green. That's too close. This isn't PGA Tour.
So are they just waiting for you to pick up the ball, and right when you touch the ball, they're firing their shot?
They're figuring, well, you'll be out of there by that point, firing balls.
All right, it's in hand.
Yeah, so then on the 8th hole, we had pretty good drives, and we're in the fairway. And then Luke tells me, well, don't hit. He's getting kind of agitated because I was concentrating on my own shot. They hit a ball over the head of him and his girlfriend. It wasn't.
Oh, no.
It wasn't near them, but it was in the general direction. And again, we're in the fairway. We're not in woods. We're obviously visible. So then he tells me, don't hit. Don't get in your stance. Don't do that. And I was all set. I was going to hit a 3/4 9-iron, taking a little bit off of it in there. And thank God I did, because I got hit in the left bicep. This was very much a la Trump. There was no sloped roof, but if I had been in my stance, I would have been hit probably around the head by getting out of the stance and turning and looking back sort of at these guys. And you know what it felt like? Like a bee stick, like Trump said, like, get out of here, an insect or something. I'll show what it looks like today, though. Not so pretty. Question is, imply ice or not imply ice? What do you do in a situation like that? Come on now. Can't be violence. All right?
Did you like jump into action and start, throwing punches?
I started marching down the fairway. They were in a cart, though, so they came up to us, and I'm expecting the worst. Didn't end that way.
Oh, they were nice?
Well, they were half-witted, a quarter-witted, and apparently not intentionally trying to rush us. It's the manager of the place, Dan. This guy doesn't get it. I may have said, well, I'm not a practicing attorney now, but you do have a fiduciary responsibility here. So I bet we have a golf course manager out. You can't put a sign up, hey, it's the Old West. If you get hit, that's on you. They have a ranger. Do you know what a ranger is?
Like a park ranger?
Yeah, a guy that patrols, drives around it all, making sure.
Does he wear a fancy hat?
Yeah, making sure no disputes, making sure that, you're not taking forever. Can you let people play through? That kind of thing. There's a golf etiquette. There's a whole thing. And this was violative. And the guy told me, this manager, I'm not going to say the course yet. He said, I've been hit many times. I'm saying, are you serious? It's the first time I've been hit.
His response was, I've been hit many times?
Yeah. That's the first time
I've a very good legal response.
Been hit. And, Dan, I probably have played 3,000 to 4,000 rounds maybe. I've never been hit. A ball may have rolled somewhat near me or something. I've never been hit, though. I mean,
You ever get shot with a paintball before?
No. It's worse than that, though.
You think so?
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Luke helped out and said, well, the guy probably has a low swing speed, so it won't hurt as much.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT.
Yeah,
Fred Flitson says, that's a big bruise, Dom.
12:15, I'll show. Oh, they saw it already.
I think you can just see it. It's
well,
hanging out of the sleeve.
I want a close-up. I want a subcutaneous look at this.
You should put a square bandage over it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's very Trumpian. If I didn't turn, God knows what would have happened
Called
here.
assassination.
I think it was an assassin. This was a curious way to do it. All right.
It's a guy from South Philly, the opposing high school.
I'll show you that in a few minutes. But the lead today is don't be demoralized by what's going on now with Kamala Harris. The media already making this like it's a juggernaut. They are giddy with this. They are doing well. Now, Scott Presler has so much arrived, 2 o'clock today with Scott, in the world, that he commissioned a poll, Dan. Wow. You know, I've tried to commission a poll, but they wouldn't do it for nothing. So
He's got a poll?
He's got a poll.
He made a poll?
Yeah, he's going to be on today.
Wow.
And at 2 o'clock. And the conclusion of the poll, this is legit, is that Harris and Biden, Harris and Trump are neck and neck, 48-48. When you put all those others in, they're 45-45. And the others get the other 10%, you know, the Cornel West, the RFK Jr., who I'll get to in a moment. The key for Trump is, though, persuadable voters. Of course, they're going to decide this. The polling shows that once voters learn enough about her past record as a San Francisco DA, et cetera, then you have more than a shot at convincing them to vote for Trump. And that's logic. So don't be demoralized and don't be head in the sand saying, Trump's just going to beat her. There's no doubt about it. Now, the fight is on. She'll get another bump from the convention probably. And then when she starts to, well, look, not that I'm advising her, Dan. If I were advising her, I would say, don't you dare do an interview. You know you can't handle it. You know you've never been challenged in your life, from Willie Brown on to now. You've not been challenged. You can't handle it. Chris Wallace said he would be a moderate, fair, but tough interview. I don't think she could handle it. I think the person I'd want interviewing her, just so everybody could see it's not Fox News, is Lester Holt. Oh, my God. She would be. Can you imagine? Well, I've never been to Europe. Hey, you know what? We got a longer interview this time. You're going to regret that remark. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Just the cockiness of it. So I do think it is going to be Josh Shapiro. I don't see this guy Walls. What's taking so long? Any number of things. The bigotry of this party. They're throwing everything they can at Shapiro, and he's got baggage. You know he's the great chameleon. He's not a moderate in any way, shape, or form. Some of the questions you get asked in this, though. I don't know if Trump asks all these. I'd love to be Trump asking questions of J.D. Vance. Oh, my God. What that must have been like. Okay. So I want to play you a cut.
Do you wear eyeliner?
He does wear, not that I have anything.
Eyeliner?
I see the eyeliner. I don't know if he's goth or it's something else going on.
I think it was just bad advice from a makeup person at one point in his career.
Probably.
Kind of just stuck,
Yeah. So this demoralization is something we really have to work on. Here is Governor Christie yesterday on with Stephanopoulos, who, by the way, I thought he was going to tag Christie into the ring, Dan. He got torn up by Byron Donalds yesterday in any kind of fair way. And Byron Donalds has to defend something Trump said or the angle of attack on her. I know exactly what Trump means, and Byron Donalds, and we'll play it, made the point, well, you guys said she was the first Indian, not Native American, but Indian senator ever. So which one is it? She's constantly playing with this stuff. Obama did the same thing. Is she biracial? Well, of course she is, but she doesn't say that all the time. Now, that angle of attack is not the best angle. Her policies are. But here is Christie, and I wanted to clear this matter up at the top. Here's Governor Christie yesterday blaming Trump for making Shapiro such a dominant candidate. And I'm going to refute this blowhard right here and right now in a second. Here's what Christie said.
If she picked Shapiro on Tuesday, Donald Trump created Josh Shapiro.
How so?
He endorsed Mastriano, the weakest Republican candidate in that field. What it allowed Josh Shapiro to do was, instead of playing to his base, to try to win a narrow election. He saw an opportunity for a coalition-building election, and that's what he did. So now he's seen as a coalition builder because he did it, but the only reason he could do it is because Trump made another ridiculously stupid endorsement by endorsing Mastriano, who was a flawed, weak, bad candidate. If Josh Shapiro winds up winning and Trump loses Pennsylvania, he can go back to his decision in 2022 as planting the seeds.
All right, now let's go back. That was all, because look, I've been in the ring with Christie, the Raging Bull. All right, you remember that. We played it a lot. Here's what happened. The problem was with people that get off on the juice, they want it this crazy, Mastriano. How many times have I said to you, you're not going to win in Pennsylvania or nationally if you're against abortion, no exceptions. You're done right there. So what were the other choices? Dave White was no exceptions to. Lou Barletta, you got to love Lou, but no way. Bill McSwain just didn't. Trump did not endorse Mastriano, Dan. I remember it as if it were yesterday, to the Saturday before the election. Mastriano, at that point, was dominating. Why was he dominating? Because we have enough people that don't want to win on the Republican side at that part. Maybe they've changed. That went off with this destructive moron beyond belief. That's exactly what he is. Have we gotten past that? I hope so. Again, you see a candidate saying no exceptions or anything like that to abortion, run from that. They're not going to win in Pennsylvania. They're not going to win nationally. Do you get that now? Oh, you're saying he endorsed them earlier than that.
Yeah, he endorsed him during the primary.
Yeah, but that's late.
Primary.
That's late in the primary.
Just days ago, yeah.
Yeah, just days ago, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you check the polling, Mastriano, Dan, was already up at that point. I seem to remember he had 42% in a four-candidate race. In other words, Trump may have helped him a percentage point here and there. But Trump's not the reason why Mastriano got that nomination. You have people in vast places in Pennsylvania who don't get it. They don't want to win. They look at this guy in the Confederate hat and the swords and everything else, and everybody's praying all the time. I mean, I had some personal back and forth over this whole thing with Mastriano. How many times did I say it? Are you kidding me? So it wasn't Trump. Trump didn't help matters by endorsing him at the very end. So we have Shapiro now, and Shapiro, if picked, will be very helpful in winning Pennsylvania. Doesn't mean we can't win Pennsylvania. In fact, I want to win it even more if he's on the ticket. He's got to be exposed for the chameleon that he is. All right, 855-839-1210, you get in. Got a great side question today. I have what I think would be the winner, so I'm going to take that one off the board. Smokey the Bear.
Smokey Bear.
Now, I'm never going to say Smokey Bear.
Smokey Bear.
Even Roe refuses to say Smokey Bear. It's Smokey the Bear.
No, his last name's Bear. He doesn't have a middle name, The.
Okay, look that up. Why was that changed?
Why was it changed?
To be politically correct,
Yeah.
like he's an actual person. Smokey Bear. Hey, good to see you. Don't do a forest fire.
No, it's to add relatability. Come on.
Oh, I think Smokey the Bear adds more related. Hey, Smokey the
We
Bear.
don't call him Mickey the Mouse.
Well, he's got Disney, that's true. But he started out as Mickey Mouse, not Mickey the Mouse. 80 years of age. I think it's this Thursday. Smokey Bear was born or created.
Hey, you got it right. There you go.
Thursday. Okay. So we want to know the all-time best or worst memorable public service announcements. Did we have that, Dan? The best of Smokey the Bear, the forest fire?
No, I can get it, though.
Okay. While you're getting that, let me give you the number one on all the lists and the one that I would vote as the number one PSA of all time. This is your mind. This is your brain on drugs.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
That has been voted repeatedly number one, and I think it is. Of all those thousands and thousands of PSAs that are out there that we play, some of the most dreadful. Oh, this is the hunting and fishing licensure. Remember, Dan Borowski, get your license renewed. Dan, how about yours?
Back in the 90s, I actually had action figures of these. They turned into a whole toy line. And
Okay.
remember the Highway Administration or Highway Traffic Control? They had the crash test dummies.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're hilarious.
That is a great one. Yeah, the crash test dummies, they did all kinds of things with it.
Hey, thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece of cake, Claire.
But then...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But Vince...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vince...
Look out!
So corny, but I love it.
That is a great one. Dan, you know the one people, should we take it off to, just so we don't get someone going on a tirade?
Go ahead.
Cars for kids.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep.
If you're in radio like Dan
it's
and I have
bad.
been for many moons, I
it's
probably have
bad.
heard that 5,000 times.
Yeah. And I feel like they don't change it on purpose because they know
Yeah.
it's bad, and they know it gets talked about like in situations like these.
Yeah, when it's on TV, it's
Yeah.
even worse. The
Yeah.
kid there, the rock band is there. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's that one kid.
Okay, yeah, I've had enough already. We're good.
Now, I know one that's very good. It's a local one. It is the Grand Poobahs. What is the group? The charitable group for kids in Northeast Philadelphia. They wear the funny hats. I know some of these guys.
Why can't I think of it?
Nights. Anyhow, they used to have this kid that was great.
Shriners
spokesman.
Hospital.
Shriners.
Yeah.
But the kid grew older. Now this younger kid is horning in there, Dan. I like the older
There are
kid.
really good commercials. When they had the board meeting with the older kid and the
Yes.
younger.
Yeah, the older kid has this the way he goes, this adorable blanket. Then that pesky other kid, get him out of here. Shriners. Yeah, that is a really good one. All right, 855-839-1210. That is the side question here. Millions of PSAs. Can you imagine Smokey the Bear is 80 years of age? Coming up. Can hardly wait to show you the bicep. I won't be able to flex as much here, Dan.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, keep flexing.
yeah. And I'll tell you
A
a
lot
little
of
bit
slack
more.
in that sleeve, Dom.
But yeah, this is too bulky of a shirt. Yeah, I
Is
need
that what
a
it is?
tighter
Yeah.
shirt there.
You got
You ever
the
see those guys with the cigarette pack in the shirt? You don't see that anymore.
you got the Sam Bradford sleeves on
How
today.
could you put a cigarette pack inside the shirt? All right. By the way, Dan, what about the pole vaulter, the French pole vaulter? Did
Yeah.
you see? How can we talk about that delicately?
Yeah.
Is that hard to? I mean, Quay Travis on Twitter right away. Well, this guy on Instagram, he's got 60 million hits now.
Yeah. Have you ever had a similar situation?
No. And did you see the pole vaulter who bounced off the bar? Probably lied to get in the Olympics. He jumped, got to the bar, and he just fell back on his back.
Oh, you're not talking about the one that knocked the bulge.
No, that's another
That's
one.
the French one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a heck of an interview with that guy.
You ever hop a fence and accidentally fall too short? No.
Yeah.
It's not a great feeling.
All right, 855-839-1210. You can get in. Do not be demoralized. Scott Presler here at 2 today. I'll tell you about this poll. And he's on a 67-county tour to take illegal aliens off the ballot. And people don't want them coming to their offices. There's already trouble with that.
You know, I know you're wrong.
Yes.
Jimmy Matthews says it's Smokey the Bear.
Oh, man, that's it.
No,
Okay.
you're in a line
I'm
with him.
convicted.
He's and
Hey,
former President Trump.
where was Jimmy Matthews yesterday at about 12:30, Dan? Was he anywhere in Montgomery County? That's what I'm suspecting. I think he was hiding behind.
That giant bruise on you is from somebody. Now.
I think he was hiding behind the what is it? The Bush Deagley Plaza.
That's the guy that hit you with the
Yeah.
ball.
I think
Great
it was
aim
a
there, Jimmy.
conspiracy. I think it was more than one golf
Yeah.
ball to make this mark. I'll show you the mark.
Do you think they were aiming for you?
Yes.
You do?
I think they targeted me.
Yeah.
And I did not say, oh, I'm a talk radio host. I never do that.
Is there a conspiracy behind this?
Yes.
Some kind of establishment?
Yes,
maybe?
they lured me there. Yes. Yeah. Montgomery County. Montgomery County
There it
Commission.
is.
There
yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
All right, 855-839-1210. I need a lawyer. Yeah, Valerie Arcouche. I need that too. A lawyer and a doctor to be watching. I'll show you a close-up of this. 855-839-1210.
Hey everyone, it's Donald Trump Jr. Join me and Dom Giordano Thursday, September 12th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey for the next Politics and Pints with WPHT. We will talk all things Trump, the 2024 election, and my father's book, Letters to Trump. South Jersey and PA suburbs are hugely important to electing Donald Trump president. Just head to 1210WPHT.com for tickets right now. Hope to see you there.
Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute have formed a powerful alliance. Legends in Caregiving New Jersey families, the most sophisticated heart team in America. Innovators in research and patient care who've made life better for thousands of patients, raising the standard for the next generation of care. The alliance between Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute means the highest quality care close to home for you. DemandDeborah.org.
Family and Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is known for being South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. Choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area or have their master jewelers create a one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at FamilyJewelers.com.
Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to GetCash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com. GetCash.com.
Land Rover is more than a luxury vehicle. It's a lifestyle. Range Rover, Defender, and Discovery, 3 exclusive brands, each with distinct characteristics that reflect unique driving needs. To ensure the finest ownership experience, every new Range Rover, Defender, and Discovery vehicle is covered by a 4-year or 50,000-mile limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and more. Visit one of 4 convenient locations: Land Rover Willow Grove, Westchester, Wilmington, and Harrisburg, part of Piazza Premium Automobiles.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, some days I say, do we really want to be on YouTube? Maybe the hair doesn't look quite pristine that day. Do we have to do YouTube?
Your hair looks good today.
But today is a great day. All right, Dan, drum roll, please. Here is the injury yesterday. Now, please, children, no watching this. It's shocking. It's gruesome.
What is that?
There we go.
You look like a former Russian leader.
Yeah. It does
look
look
on your
like
arm. It's like
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev.
It does look like Gorbachev. And, the pain and suffering, the whole thing, it threw off my 9-iron shot.
Did it really hurt? Like afterwards, did it feel like a dead arm? Like you got punched in the arm real hard?
No, it didn't feel like that, to be honest. I put ice on it just to make it more dramatic at that point. And the bottom line is
you're turning purple.
Yeah, it is getting a little bit bad now. So I need a doctor or a lawyer. What's the etiquette? We're in the fairway. They did it already on one hole. They hit the ball in the green when we're just getting off. They hit 2 shots as we're in the fairway, and I got hit with the second one. And I think, Dan, I'm telling you, at certain country clubs, you'd be kicked out. You're never allowed back.
Yeah.
They might even call the police. And in certain other places that I played, the South Philly type of thing, you're getting jumped there.
So
you're not getting out of there.
Like, what was the point of them shooting early like they were?
Because
were they trying to rush you? Were they trying to get past you? Did they just
They
not see
said
you?
no, but I can't imagine. You know what it was? There were 3 of us. There were only 2 of them, and they're in a golf cart. So, when you're in a golf cart, even if you hit the ball offline, you're flying toward it. We're walking, doing it. I thought we were playing pretty well and pretty quickly. You know? And
were they annoyed that you didn't have a golf cart, and that's why they were you guys are moving too slow?
I didn't detect it from this.
Yeah.
And
it almost sounds like they were annoyed with you, and then they hit you, and then they had to play mum and, act like they weren't trying to rush you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, is that a doctor or a lawyer calling in, Dan? The hotline is ringing.
No, that's the chairman of the RNC calling in.
Well, wait a minute. Segment. He might be a lawyer. Ask him about, I'll ask Chairman Michael Watley. He's a good time. I'll ask him, what's the etiquette on a golf course? He looks like a golfer to me.
I wonder if Watley's ever been hit with a golf ball before.
Well, I wonder if Trump's ever hit anybody.
It's true.
You know what you do if you're big time, too?
I think Trump has great golf etiquette, though.
Yeah, well, if you're a celebrity, you sign the ball, you sign their shirt, and they let you massacre them and nothing happens. So I'd love to know if you're a golfer, golfing etiquette in a situation like this. What would happen if you're a member of a club or where you are?
So Jay Lamont, who might be a lawyer, says...
Wait, Jay Lamont?
It sounds like a lawyer name. That's why I said might be. I don't know if he is a lawyer, but he just popped in on the chat.
He's the biggest real estate guy, one of the biggest imaginable.
Oh, wait, is he actually?
Yes, that Jay Lamont, of course.
Well, I don't know if it's that same Jay Lamont.
Oh, if it's Jay Lamont, I'm honored.
No,
Thank you.
Lamond, not Lamont.
Well, Jay Lamont.
Close, very close.
Yeah.
Though. So Jay Lamond says, did you sign a waiver before you started?
Well, it's at the bottom of where you sign in. By the way, I didn't sign in, though, so there's that.
Okay.
What do you mean, a waiver? You can't. Wait a minute, though.
John also says, does golf course make you sign wafer for injuries? I think he means waiver. I don't think he's meaning vanilla wafers.
They can't do that, though, because they can have you sign anything they want.
I mean, when you go like mountain climbing or rock climbing at a little studio, you got to sign one of those waivers that say if you fall, it's not on the company, that it's their fault.
Right. That's different. Here, there's another party involved, Dan. It's like the abortion debate or something. That you have people, Dan, they have to make an attempt. Okay. So that means then if these guys were at point-blank range hitting balls with us, I signed away my right if I get injured in that? No. You see what I mean?
I think that is what that is, though.
They have to take action. They have a ranger, as I told you. They have to take action. You can't just say, you go on the golf course, if you get attacked here, if you get robbed or something.
You get mauled by a bear. It's not on the golf course.
Yeah, it's not. Well, with the bear, I can understand.
Well, you can outrun it, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I can outrun it, though. Wait a minute. I think people think, damn, just because you put up a sign, that immediately sets all sorts of things off. Here's what it is. If you sign that by putting your name down, you are reducing what you can do, but you can't be outlandish here. They should have kicked these people out. I'll ask Michael Watley about that, the debate, Trump, and the whole thing. I'm sure he's got some golf ball knowledge here. I need a doctor lawyer here. I'm getting a Jay Lamont.
Audio from the golf course. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's you talking to the ranger.
Get him out. Get him out of here.
I wish we had tape of this. There were no profanities used because I didn't have a driver in my hand. I only had a 9-iron there. I wish I... All right, so Dan, as executive producer, if you were there, what would you have done?
Fought.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. Maisie would have tipped them, as far as we know.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Maisie tipping story.
What I would have done, Dom?
Later in the show.
Here's what I would have done.
Grab them by the lapels and shake them like hell.
That's what we need. All right, RNC Chairman Michael Watley's with us next. Then we'll take some of your calls. Now's the time to get Rescue Natural Supplements during their annual Customer Appreciation Sale. Rescue is celebrating you. Save 50% when you mix and match any 5 products or more with the code VIP50. Plus, you'll receive free shipping. Try the popular Rescue 1250 Omega-3 for heart health, Rescue Probiotic for better digestion, or Rescue Oracine for more energy. Again, mix and match any 5 or more single bottles and enjoy 50% off plus free shipping. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable Rescue product consultant. And if you're new to Rescue, be sure to create your own account to earn more exclusive savings. Again, use the code VIP50. Receive 50% off and free shipping when you mix and match 5 or more Rescue Natural Supplements. Use that code VIP50, VIP50 at res-q.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. We could see a thunderstorm at some point tonight. Overnight, we'll get down to 76. Tomorrow, thunderstorms very possible during the afternoon, high of 92. Sunday, 87. Thunderstorms in the afternoon possible. Monday, right back up to the mid-90s and mostly sunny conditions.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. If you have any more comments on the golf injury, call in. RNC Chairman Michael Watley, who has a big job here and doing great work, joins us again here in Philadelphia on Talk Radio 1210. Chairman, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It is good to be on with you, sir.
Well, I don't know, right? You probably wouldn't have any time for golf before you got this. Any golfing in your background?
You know, it is ridiculous that I live across the street from a course and I haven't played in 2 years, but I think that's what I signed up for here.
But I need a legal opinion. So I get hit yesterday at a golf course, and these people were telling me that I signed a waiver of anything that happens to me. And I just believe in America, people think they can put up a sign and say they don't have to take any kind of precaution, I think.
It's all about priorities. You got to keep yourself safe.
Thank you. There you go. So, Chairman, biggest thing right now, we're counting down to VP Shapiro. Do you have a sense it'll be Shapiro? And if so, let's center on Shapiro because I think it will be him. And I have a lot of Shapiro knowledge over the last 20 years. What is the upside, downside of someone like Josh Shapiro?
Well, I think the key is no matter who she picks, it's going to be somebody who is an ideological clone to her. You know, that she has fully adopted every aspect of the failed Biden-Harris administration. You know, when you think about the open borders, you think about, 10, 15 million illegal immigrants that have come across that southern border, the scourge of fentanyl, the scourge of migrant crime, the fact that Philadelphia is now a border city and Pennsylvania is now a border state. You think about the economy, and we're watching the stock market melt down today because of the economic policies that she and Joe Biden have put in place. And, of course, our standing in the world, which, when America is weak, the world is a dangerous place. And Israel right now, is bracing, for attacks from Iran that never came when Donald Trump was the president of the United States. So, her positioning on every single issue that matters is not where America wants it to be. And she could pick, Shapiro. She could pick Gretchen Whitmer. She could pick Gavin Newsom. She could pick, Tim Walz. She could pick, anybody else. And they're going to be mimicking her on all of these positions. Nobody, not a single one of them, has ever said that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris was wrong on a single issue. They're just going to double down on it, and that's not where America is.
Well, you're smart to point that out because with Shapiro, if it's Shapiro, their play is white male, and he's a moderate. He's not a moderate. Call me if you need chapter and verse. You probably have, opposition research on that. And you're right. He's not going to go far out there on just about anything. Now, with the debates, I understand when Biden is tagged out, that Trump doesn't have to debate Kamala Harris. I'm of the mind, though, that even ABC, because Trump is used to a hostile group, if they would push back on Harris even a little bit, she will fold, just like the Trump CNN gambit. What's your thinking on the debates?
Well, I think, the president's made it clear that he would like to have a debate or debates. I think that, he knocked Joe Biden not just off of the debate stage, but out of the race, when they had their one and only debate. He has pushed back on the original, setup, because that was a setup that was made with Joe Biden. I think you could just say that Joe Biden has declined the debate, really.
Well, yeah, true. That's the only one that it was agreed upon with. So as we move forward in this phase of the debate, I think the legal immigration issue with Kamala Harris was front and center, is front and center, the media trying to deflect. So how do you approach making people realize, if not the border czar, that was the one area that she was in charge of specifically, and certainly hundreds of media people called her the border czar.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that you can deflect away from her role in terms of being the border czar, in terms of what she and this administration did. They took 94 executive actions to dismantle the most secure southern border that we had ever had in place, that Donald Trump put in place. The fact that we have gone from having literally zero known terrorists on the watch list come across the border in 2019 to hundreds of them that we have caught under this administration. Anywhere between 10 and 15 million illegal immigrants that have come across that border. The fact that the Biden-Harris FBI has said that it is a clear and present danger to America. There's no way that mainstream media and Kamala's campaign can whitewash her history on this issue and try and take it off the table.
Tomorrow, VP nominee Senator Vance is going to be here in Philadelphia. It's an arena that's sometimes used for wrestling. I don't know if you knew that, in South Philadelphia, which is storied here.
Amazing venue.
Yeah, amazing venue. ECW used to fight there. What can we expect from Vance in Philadelphia tomorrow?
Well, I think what you're going to hear is a guy who came from, rural Ohio and grew up, put himself through school. When America needed him, he stood up, answered the call, and served in the military. Now he's answered a different call to serve as our vice president, but he's never forgot where he's from. And he's going to talk about the fact that, right now we've got three huge issues that we're grappling with as a country, between the border, between our economy, and our standing in the world. And Kamala is wrong on all of them. And so, Pennsylvania obviously is a huge swing state. I'm going to be over in Pittsburgh tomorrow doing a Protect the Vote tour stop. We already did one over in the Philadelphia area in Bucks County. We're very glad that he's going to be there tomorrow. We'll wait and see, who the Democrats are going to nominate, but it doesn't change the structure of this race. It doesn't change the pace of this race, because right now, Americans are paying more attention to this election in August than they have ever in August. I mean, this is typically the downtime.
And look, I'm not in the role of J.D. Vance, and I think maybe you might share this, though. You have to be vice presidential. But when Bashir, particularly from Kentucky, tries to undercut him by trying to take away one of the most beautiful stories and the pain he suffered in life, those are fighting words. I mean, everybody has their story, and his story is legit, true, and a very, very tough childhood, to put it mildly.
Yeah, and the fact that he, brought himself up, he put himself through, college in 2 years, put himself through law school, created a very strong business, for himself, a career, and then answered the service to public, to serve in the military. I mean, that is straight out of central casting. But I think the most important thing is that he has never forgotten where he's from. And he is fighting every day right now for, every family in Ohio and is ready to step up and fight every day for every American family.
Absolutely. So you're doing to protect the vote. That's good. You are the go-to guy on all these things, and I'm so glad that President Trump recognizes that, because it's noticeable to me how much better it is this time around. But we still want volunteers. We still want people out there. Where do people go to get more information?
ProtectTheVote.com, and they will be able to sign up. Once we get them registered, we'll get them trained, and then we'll be able to deploy them. We are recruiting 100,000 volunteers across the country, 5,000 in Pennsylvania. We also need the attorneys that are going to sign up and go forward with us. But we're very excited. The enthusiasm that we've seen across Pennsylvania and across the country to make sure that it's easy to vote and hard to cheat. I just cannot fathom for the life of me why the Democrats or anybody would try to dismantle basic protections on election integrity that really, truly kind of want to wipe out our ability to have the sanctity of the ballot protected.
Absolutely. Well, Chairman Watley, thank you. Thanks for coming on again. We'll talk soon, hopefully.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Chairman Watley there. Dan, was that out of bounds? He's an attorney in RNC and hasn't played golf in a couple of years. I thought he'd make a ruling there.
Seems like he wanted to, give you bad news, but he couldn't.
Oh, maybe that's it. He was pulling a punch.
Pulling a punch.
I think I have to ask Don Trump Jr. Or President Trump, but I'll have access to John Trump Jr. Hopefully this will be healed by then. I don't want to be scarred showing up there that night. Get your tickets. Don't forget, September 12th at the Scottish Rite.
And you're going to be a giant bruise by the time.
Auditorium. I had a little bit of beard over the weekend. One day of non-shaving.
Why'd you shave it, Dom?
I just
you could have used it to promote this event. It would have been fantastic.
I may have to shave right after the event backstage if I actually grow the beard. Have Rose shave me there. There you go. All right, so get your tickets, 1210WPHT.com. You get the great book, Letters to Trump. We've told you many times what's in there, why it was written, and Don Trump Jr., September 12th. It's a fabulous night. We have a big meet and greet with him, and then the event. A sniper, by the way, this just breaking, Fox reporting this, warned that they had lost sight of the gunman. I mean, our minds are distracted. That's exactly what they want by all their 60 days and the rest of it. Just the colossal failure. And Dan, I just had a golf ball hit me, and I was thankful that Luke told me, don't continue to hit. Looks like they're going to hit or something like that, he told me. And I just turned to my left a little bit and got hit in the arm, and it felt like a bee stinger. Like, what the heck was – it couldn't be a ball.
It's kind of sad that Luke and DJ had a better response than the Secret Service.
Yeah, exactly. Well put. That's the line of the day.
They got you right out of there, address the situation.
The guy who was the manager reminded me of the heads of the Secret Service and these others.
Yep.
We just kept on saying, you're not serious. You really are not serious what you're saying here. These guys ought to be gone. They ought to be suspended, maybe forever.
We should call in this 90-year-old golf pro for sit him down in the studio. He'll come to a lie detector test and do a congressional hearing.
And he was folksy, Dan, saying, I've been hit a lot of times. I'm thinking, what kind of nonsense is this?
Not too bad, no.
Yeah, that's fine. Everything's fine here. Oh, God. 855-839-1210. The radio logs show that cops lost sight of the shooter. Well, then they tell Trump, get off the stage or don't go on the stage. Why is this such hard? That's your so-called protocol. All right.
Did you throw up a fist and say fight when you were hit with the golf ball?
Oh, God. I was, too, thinking, what the heck just happened here? Thank God it didn't hurt. It hasn't hurt. It looks a lot worse than it is. But, man. And Rose saying, well, a tree could have fallen on you, too. Now she starts all this stuff. Yeah, all kinds of things can happen. The storms, watch it, the trees, everything. I'm really careful.
Wait, was she downplaying? You almost dying there?
No.
Oh,
she was
just
saying,
making sure.
No, because somebody, unfortunately, that happened to them in a storm this year.
Oh, really?
Right here, Luke, and they were killed, yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's, of course, we played quite a bit, yeah. Who knew?
Did they sign a waiver?
Oh, yeah, I could see them. Oh, they signed a waiver if a tree comes down and hits you. No, you know what lawyers are going to do? They're going to take a look at the maintenance stand, and they're going to say, yeah, they did. You know what the standard is? It's the reasonable man. Now it's called the reasonable person because of sexism. With the reasonable Borowski, hit a ball with Dom standing right there as a golfer? And the answer is no. You wouldn't do that.
So there's no conversation of the guys coming up at any point and saying, hey, would you mind moving aside so we can pass you?
No, and we might have done it in the beginning, but after that first shot, no, we're not doing it. No, now you're going to have to. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just all right. Any more on YouTube? Any more commentary?
No, it's just a lot of conversation about this smoking gun, which is the waiver.
Yeah. All right. Back. I have to dig out the law books tonight. Rutgers Law, 855-839-1210. You get on board.
A man is injured here, people. Come on.
Side question today. Smokey the Bear, 80 years of age. Hit us with that all-time best or worse PSA. Hey, the best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams and all your favorite sports, from basketball to badminton, soccer to swimming. FanDuel has it all. Don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Why are prices spiking in Pennsylvania? It's simple. It's inflation. And Senator Bob Casey's reckless spending caused the problem to grow. Casey joined Washington liberals in voting for trillions in reckless spending. All of Senator Casey's spending caused inflation to get out of control until disaster. Everything is too expensive, from gas to groceries. And Senator Casey helped create this mess. Worse, Casey voted to allow COVID relief checks for illegal immigrants and convicted criminals, even murderers. Senator Casey voted to allow more money for illegals, leaving less for us. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act, paid for by One Nation, onenationamerica.org.
40 days to lose up to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. It only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to personalize supplements that will target your hormonal imbalances so you can lose that weight. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep it off. Call Dr. T, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds, 40 days up to 40 pounds, NJ Diet.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Hurricane Debbie makes landfall in Florida as a Category 1 storm. Travelers are seeing chaos at Philadelphia Airport today as several dozen flights have been delayed and canceled. The U.S. financial markets are on the decline after a weaker than expected job report Friday.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Does your broker say, "We're different. We're a fiduciary. We only make money when you make money"? Well, the reality is no broker is different. They all collect fees, even when you lose money. Does that sound like a fiduciary responsibility to you? Crash Proof Retirement is the only firm in the nation to record all financial meetings, providing a legally binding guarantee of Crash Proof Retirement's fiduciary responsibility to our investing client.
Ed Topkowitz from Exton. A lot has been said about being a fiduciary. Crash Proof Retirement earned my trust. When you come in, everything's recorded. It's proof that they are a fiduciary. I have a team of expert people who know what they're doing and have me as their first concern, not making a buck off of me, but making me a buck. And you don't pay any fee.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, September 17th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Straight down the middle. It went straight down the middle. Then it started to hook just a wee bit. And that's when my caddy lost sight of it. That little white pellet has never been found to this day. But it went straight down the middle.
What does he know? All right, Dom Giordano show. Welcome in. By the way, Jimmy Matthews, Dan, claims he was in Delco yesterday, not Montgomery County.
He has an alibi then.
He has an alibi. The reporting now is that Kamala Harris says, I believe too, has narrowed the choice to Shapiro and Walz. This guy Walz, we played you him the other day, the governor of Minnesota, is really cocky and trying to make other people be weird. Dan, do you remember this when we played him the other day about what he does when he goes home? Which one? I think it's 2A.
Don't remember.
I think it's 2A.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Here's Governor Walz. It's either him or Shapiro, and I believe that. I don't think Mark Kelly is going to be it. It's one of those two. He's folksy. He's for rural Democrats. Here's what he said.
So when these guys get in situations in front of real people and trying to pretend like they know what people are going through, they've got nothing to offer. And no one can picture them in their own lives. I brought this thing up that Donald Trump tries to mock Vice President Harris for laughing. And I made the point, you never see this guy laugh. You never see him do these normal things. Imagine when I go home at night, I pick up the Frisbee and throw it, and my dog catches it, he comes over, he gets the belly rub for being a good boy. Picture these guys doing that kind of stuff.
I picture Trump with a dog, this guy.
Yeah, I'm sure this guy really goes home and throws a Frisbee inside his house.
Man, this guy can't bend over and pick up a Frisbee. This Walz. Let's tag in this guy Walz. Let's see what happens. And they're going to reach folksy. They're going to come out there to rural Pennsylvania. And this guy's going to be throwing Frisbees and get them to vote for them.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
I'm very proud to be weird. I this whole attack thing from a party that tried to normalize weirdness for the past 15 years to now try to weaponize it and become the mean girl bullies of politics by trying to frame Vance and Trump as weird. Embrace it, Trump. Embrace it, Vance. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's 2024. We're weird. I'm weird. I'm a weird guy. Who cares?
Well, I'm not going to join that club, but I have some eccentricities. The driving with 2 feet. Hey, Walz, I drive with 2 feet. I ought to be elected president.
The whole throwing a football 40 yards.
I threw a football 40 yards.
Outrunning a bear.
Outrunning a bear. Hey, get that bear in here.
Who cares?
All right. I wonder if those guys are listeners.
He goes home and throws a Frisbee to his dog.
All right,
makes him
Dan,
relatable.
Here's the guy who thinks I have a case here. Is it Riv? R-I-V-H?
I don't know.
Let's go to Riv in Hamilton. Is it Riv? Good afternoon.
I think it's Rich.
Rich.
Yeah, this is Rich from Hamilton.
Oh, Rich, hi.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, my wife works for a law firm, and she's a paralegal. So a while back, her firm got a case, and the gentleman hit a ball and did not yell for and hit somebody, and that person had a right to sue.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, so there's a legal basis of 4?
But it's a warning. It's a warning.
I've played the game for 46 years. I've never been hit with a ball, but my wife was telling me about this case a while back that they had, and the guy got hit with a ball, and the gentleman that hit that ball did not yell for, and he had a right to sue.
Yeah, Rich, what would you do if you heard the circumstance, right, of what was going on there? What would you do in that situation?
Well, I caught the tail end of what you guys were talking about. Now, you're saying that you had to sign a waiver?
Well, it's on the bottom when you sign in, but I didn't even sign in. They didn't require it. That says, it's a waiver. But, Rich, what happened is these guys hit a ball into the 7th green before we barely got off. On the 8th hole, they hit one over the head of my son and his girlfriend. And then when I was talking to my son, I turned, and they hit me. I was in the fairway.
Okay. Well, I think if you said there was something you had to sign when you checked in and you didn't sign it, I don't know if there's a loophole there with that, but I've played golf everywhere, and I never seen anything where I had to sign in, I had to sign a waiver or anything, and I've played all over the place for years.
No, well, they can't make you sign that because that waiver is only if it's something that's unusual, you're at risk. But if somebody's not following golf etiquette, Rich, and hits you in the fairway with a ball, then they're responsible.
I just want to be clear that you never said you signed a waiver.
Right.
God forbid, if the child would have got hit or something.
Well, wait a minute, Rich. A talk show host. Just think what would happen in the middle of this election. My God. We lose Pennsylvania by a couple thousand votes.
Imagine the headlines?
Yeah, imagine the headlines.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks, Rich.
Suze Loves Jeffy on YouTube might be onto something, Dom.
Yeah.
Says Jimmy Matthews is the culprit, and he actually did yell, former president before,
Nicely played. How long have we been sitting on that one? All right, 855-839-1210. I'd have to do a show from a hospital bed. Coming up.
Uh-oh. Michael Pelka says, I'm supposed to play golf with Dom soon, but now I'm worried about my own safety. Can you confirm whether or not he's a target?
There you go.
See, Mike's not hitting me up. He's concerned. People don't want to play golf with you anymore, Dom.
All right, just for the latecomers today. There you go, Dan. Mike, show it to you soon.
YouTube.com/@12WPHT.
Battle Scar. Ask Mike if he's ever been hit. I mean, Dan, it's unusual. People don't routinely get hit because it's a potential life-threatening thing here. All right, you got hit every day. You got to play golf. Yeah, you'll get hit a few times. Are you kidding me, this guy?
I feel like the way that Mike's ball moves to the right, maybe he might have been the one hitting people at one point.
I will tell you this. I have never seen a shot. Say you have to hit the fairway, Dan, and your life is on the line. They're holding you hostage. All right, if Mike Opelka hits the fairway, then you're okay. Don't worry about the left-hand side.
Yep.
He could aim 40 yards to the left. He's going to end up. He's got the fade.
He leans towards the right on everything in life.
I was amazed. I didn't see one ball that didn't end up anywhere except on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Nick Cale, though, was kind of a maverick. It could have been anywhere.
Yeah, showing everyone up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the Odyssey Cup. I don't know who's ahead there between the two of them. All right, big 1 o'clock hour. We're going to talk with Moms for Liberty. They won a huge case, but a lot of school districts didn't sign up for this. You'll hear why. It's around the transgender nonsense. How about your school district? I'll give you the ones that did win and don't have to follow at this point Biden's change to men and boys in girls' locker rooms and all that stuff. They're in our area. I'll give you the list, and we'll talk with them next on Talk Radio 1210.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Hey, it's Rhea. Keep the summer vibes going with Lexus of Cherry Hill during the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. They are proudly celebrating 35 years in business. Over 300 new and L-certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from, and the all-new GX has arrived. Being veteran-owned, family-operated, and a 6-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence winner, Lexus of Cherry Hill provides luxury customer service. So go talk to Tony and his team to set yourself up with some of the best deals of the year. Visit LexusofCherryHill.com.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/value.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. You know that the Biden administration, Biden-Harris, Harris-Biden administration moves on, and she would be even more virulent, I believe, on all the Title IX changes, transgender this, that, and the other, just flying in the face of reality. Even what we've seen in the Olympics that has been amazing, that Bulgarian boxer, Dan, doing the X sign. I don't know if you saw that in the Olympics. And that was taken as, yeah, I'm a female, you're not. Both of the alleged offenders poaching on women's sports and boxing are going to win medals. It's just a question, will they get the gold and silver? Is that how it'll shake out, which it probably will. But Moms for Liberty has won a big battle here. And you ought to ask your local school board, local school district, how come they're not on the list that, as I understand it, at least right now, will not have to suffer the various injustices that go on around boys and girls locker rooms, you know, boys and girls sports, because the ones here locally, and I'll ask our guest, Tiffany Justice, that are on the list that won this battle that prohibits the Department of Education from enforcing Title IX, the new Title IX, Souderton, Upper Darby, Garnet Valley, Tredyffrin Easttown, Haverford, and Penridge. I think some of this, because a couple of those are very liberal, is because Moms for Liberty people are very, very active in those districts. Let's bring in Tiffany Justice on Talk Radio 1210. Well, Tiffany, this came out of the blue, but we know that Moms for Liberty can work wonders here. So congratulations for everybody with what's happened here.
Thank you very much. And, you know, we thank the court and the 10th Circuit for standing up and saying that these rules, this radical overhaul of Title IX is arbitrary and capricious. They said, you know, they have no idea how school districts or students would follow it in schools. How can a school district even implement it? They've said that it's unconstitutional. So they granted a preliminary injunction, meaning that the regulations are on hold. They can't be enforced in any of the schools where there's a Moms for Liberty member's kid. Now, to be clear, That's whether you're on the list or not. We give the list as a courtesy. The court asks for a list to be able to inform the DOE. But if you're a member and you've got a kid in school, all you need to do is tell the principal in the school district, like, hey, I'm a Moms for Liberty member. You can't enforce these Title IX regulations. So we're very thankful for the ruling. It's for all current members and future members. We're able to update the list periodically, which we're doing with the court. And it's really the only way in some of these states for us to be able to, say to the school district and the federal government, you may not enforce these new regulations in our children's school.
But let me backtrack on that and break it down a little bit further. So Moms for Liberty then had standing here, the national group, but then these school districts where there's a Moms for Liberty that I guess was part of this lawsuit, they particularly now don't have to enforce these rules. Is that the way it shakes out, Tiffany?
Yes, sir. It's individual schools. And so I think it's important to understand, and please, anyone who's listening who wants to learn more about this, go to our website, momsforliberty.org. We have a Title IX resource page that will walk you through what the court's order said, the preliminary injunction, what it means. Eventually, this case is going to make its way to the Supreme Court. What the Department of Education tried to do was to redefine sex to include gender identity, sexual orientation, pregnancy-related conditions, and they can't just do that. Congress wrote Title IX. They can't. The DOE just can't come in and start changing definitions and what it means. Certainly, and not in the way that they have. So the plaintiffs in our case, there were 4 moms. They were really brave, and they said, "Listen, this new Title IX rule is a violation of my children's First Amendment rights. You can't compel their speech." Meaning you can't force them to lie at school, and you can't tell my daughter who has compulsory swim classes that she needs to keep her mouth shut and just deal with a boy in her locker room, because, even if she doesn't feel safe or she doesn't feel comfortable. And that's essentially what these new Title IX rules said. So this judge said, wait. I see that there is a very good chance that the Moms for Liberty people and Young America's Foundation and others may have a chance to win here. This seems like a real violation of the Constitution and of the individual rights of these citizens and their children. And so he said, I'm going to wait. We're going to put this on hold. We're going to wait until we can rule on it. Now, the DOJ and the DOE is very mad at us. They don't like this. It's a sand in the gears. They want an easy rollout. One of the questions I continue to ask, and maybe you can help me, why is the Biden administration fighting, and Biden-Harris, by the way, because this is now Kamala Harris, basically. Why are they pushing so hard on something that the majority of Americans continue to show that they don't want? And so that
I'll stop you there, Tiffany. My wife had this experience the other day. I can only say, I can't drag her into it. She was getting her hair done. There was somebody else there. And the other person, who is very notable, said, well, I'm against discrimination of any form. This is discrimination. I wish I were there. I wasn't in that little salon. I would have said something. What would Tiffany Justice have said?
I would have said that no one wants anyone to be discriminated at school, but the bottom line is we're talking about the private spaces of young women and girls, and they're the ones who are being discriminated against.
Exactly.
They're the ones, right? I mean, they're the ones who have, who are just going about their business trying to change for swim class, and now they've got a penis in their face from some boy or man, by the way. And here's the other thing. I think people need to understand this. In Pennsylvania specifically, there's a school district where we have one of our members who's on a school board, and it wasn't a boy who was going into the locker room. It was a fully grown man. It was a tennis coach.
What?
It was a tennis coach that had been hired that's a man who pretends he's a woman and then goes into the locker room and changed in front of high school girls in his panties, with his penis in his panties. Horrible. So it's not just young men. It's adult men, too. This is such a violation of those girls. What I would say is this. No one wants anyone to be discriminated against. Every child has the right to feel safe and valued in their school. But we're taking away the rights of girls and women.
Yeah.
It's dangerous what we're doing when it comes to
Tiffany, sorry to interrupt, but would you agree with me, too? Look, then if we have somebody, this is a sensitive thing, even though I think it's usually a trend in some cases or a sickness, we're going to accommodate them. We're going to give them a private area since they're not comfortable then changing with the boys. There's not that many, thank God.
That's what you have to understand. When I was on school board, we had a child who thought they were transgender. First of all, the kindest, most compassionate thing you can do for someone that's dealing with a mental illness is to help them to deal with it effectively, and promising them that they can change their biological sex, which is an impossibility, is probably the cruelest thing that you could possibly do, next to telling them that they were born in the wrong body and they're broken as a person. Imagine telling a 13-year-old that. So first of all, let's be honest and understand that kindness means truth and real mental illness help. The other side of this is that, again, when I was on that school board, we made accommodations for that one student. That student had access to a private bathroom, but that's not what they want, Tom. They don't want accommodations. They want to censor this. They want it to be celebrated. And just by the very nature of forcing other people to participate in a delusion and violate their First Amendment rights or believe something that goes against their religious freedom and liberty is wrong. It's anti-American, and we can't stand for it. And certainly we can't make our youngest, most vulnerable students, our girls in these schools, have to be the ones that have to stand on the front line and defend Americans.
Exactly. Now, you and your colleague, I think, went on, I'm trying to remember which show. It wasn't Bill Maher, who might be more reasonable. He's kind of, who is it you went on that you went into? Was it 60 Minutes?
We went on 60 Minutes with Scott Pelley. We also did Dr. Phil, but you may be talking about 60 Minutes. Yep, with Scott Pelley, listen to me, 30 minutes of pornographic material and then pretend like it didn't exist. Yep. Yeah,
because you guys are willing to do that. I picture a debate with VP and presidential nominee Kamala Harris and you or your colleagues on this. To your point, to your question, and that's why this is going to play out in the presidential election. Why are you doing something that the unbelievable numbers of Americans, I believe it's over 80%, once they hear exactly. When you said that tennis coach, for example, people get a sense, when we see what happened in the Olympics with these boxers, people get a sense of how real this is. And you just said something, of course we want to accommodate this kid who's having problems. We'll give them a place where they can go and accommodate them. We're not being mean and trying to castigate them. They need help, but we'll try to make it easier for them. That's the test right there. It shows you're not trying to beat them over the head. You're just trying to protect women or young women.
Protect women in general. I don't want a man in a bathroom with me.
Right.
If I walk into a bathroom and there's a man in there, I am turning around and walking out.
Yeah.
I don't want to share a bathroom with a man I don't know. The majority of women in America feel the same way, and we certainly don't want to send our daughters into bathrooms, even if it's only shared sinks. That's the whole new trend, shared sinks with separate stalls. I don't really want my 12-year-old daughter behind closed doors with a man washing his hands at a sink in a bathroom. I mean, this is common sense stuff, and that's why you talk about the presidential election. President Trump signed our parent pledge. He has been so incredibly clear about where he stands as far as parents and on this issue of not allowing women, men in women's sports and protecting our kids. And so, we're looking at on the eve of a new vice presidential nominee that Kamala Harris chooses. I would imagine they say Harris or Shapiro or Walt. I mean, Shapiro, if we could just talk about Mr. I Love Transgender Kids on stage saying that that's not weird enough. Closed schools, forced masks on kids. His record is absolutely horrible. I mean, so we've got a double duo of people who have absolutely no respect for parental rights and are not listening to Americans on this issue of safety in sports and our girls' safety in schools.
Without a doubt. So if people want more information, because, again, this is powerful stuff, what's happened here, and ultimately I agree, it's going to make its way to the Supreme Court. They should have done it a long time ago. I realize they have a lot of cases, but this is such an outrageous thing. They should make time quickly this term to deal with it. Where do they go to see what they should say in their local school district?
Yeah, so first of all, the Supreme Court up until this point hasn't done anything because the circuit courts are actually ruling on this correctly like they did in ours. They're putting an injunction in order for So, the Supreme Court will hear it when there's a circuit split. It looks like there might be one between the 11th and the 10th. We'll see what ends up happening. They'll hear it eventually, I would imagine. Go to momsforliberty.org. Join as a member. You don't have to have kids in public school to be a member, just to be clear. And you don't have to be a mom. You can be a dad, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, or just care about kids. Join as a member if you want your child's school to be on the exemption list that the DOE gets to see. When you join as a member, go to your member profile and then select your children's school districts and schools from there, and then it'll be on the next list. And thank you for the time We're just trying to, make sure that we protect as many kids as possible in America right now during this really, crazy time in our history.
Well, you're doing a great job. I mean, and again, the test to me is we want to accommodate these kids who are troubled during all this. And when you're doing that, how in the world are we trying to discriminate against them? Thank you, Tiffany, as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tiffany Justice here, co-founder of Moms for Liberty. Go to the website. You'll see what we're talking about. And kudos to people in Souderton who were in the forefront, Upper Darby, Tredyffrin, Easttown. Boy, that's surprising. Garnet Valley, Haverford, and Penridge, which has been a hotbed of all kinds of things there. I'd love to get your response to that. And she asked a great question. Why would they be doing it? Because they're getting away with it. That's why, to this point. Yeah, it's baggage on them. The American people are, and you know what the media, well, why are we always talking about this? Why are we not talking about inflation? Let's talk about inflation. Let's talk about the border. But you know what? We're going to talk about this too, because this is a tell of what progressivism is. There is an accommodation here. And what we're seeing play out in the Olympics, I don't think I put any sound, Dan, but I know you may have seen more of the Olympics than I, but I hate to even say the word, meters, the 100-meter dash. I'd rather have the 100-yard dash. At one point in time in sports, the world heavyweight champion was the biggest thing you could be, boxing. Right up there was the world's fastest human. It's an American again. And he won by 0.005 of a second in the 100-yard dash. And it looked to me like, yeah, they used a special camera with 4,000 shots, Dan, they looked through to determine this. The point is this. If it's that close, just imagine, in a 100-yard dash.
Yep.
And Riley Gaines has said this. You're trying to shave 100th, in this case, 1,000th of a second, off to win. I even saw, this woman from Spain lost, and I was cheering this on. Do you ever see the fast walk? There's a certain way you have to do it to do the fast walk.
Yeah.
And she's celebrating. She's going like this, and the other woman just fast walks right by her, and she can't catch up like 10 yards before the finish line. I loved it.
They're all cheaters, though. You have to keep one foot planted at all times,
right.
Dom.
That's right.
And they all cheat.
Get Jimmy Matthews on that. I'm sure he'll see.
Everyone's seen the Malcolm in the Middle episode, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It was well done. And I think they had, what's the name in there? Chris Paul in the Malcolm in the Middle episode at one point. Was a fast walker. Google it. He was in there somewhere. So the point is this.
No, it's a State Farm commercial they did.
Oh, State Farm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How in the world can we allow what we're seeing in the boxings? I give that Bulgarian woman credit, Dan. She didn't quit. And then she did the X thing at the end. I have the X chromosome. You don't, buddy. And the other guy, beefing. I'm being bullied and all. The Algerian guy. My God. And the Olympic Committee just going right down the pike. So check that out from Moms from Liberty. Coming up, even for New Jersey Democrats, progressives, this is a low blow. How do they get away with it? I'll give you my theory again. How do these people in Jersey not see this? It involves something they've taken away from middle-class working families that was helpful. They only did it for 2 years. They couldn't stand it anymore to allow a tax break. I'll tell you what that tax break was. And I happened to witness people shopping for this yesterday. When in the world did we come up with these lists, Dan? It's the mother, father, and the kid. And, Dan, they all have different long, like a whole page of back-to-school supplies, and they're checking each other. Well, wait a minute. Do you have this pen? I love these pens, by the way.
Which kind is it?
It's a Sharpie.
Like
but
it's pens?
It's the metal Sharpie. There's something about it that suits the writing here.
Yeah.
And
I like the Pilot G2s myself.
And they're looking at the serial numbers, and they're there. They have things on the floor, and they're going through it. I, of course, am observing at 855-839-1210. Hey, did I show you I get hit by a golf ball?
Yeah. Dan Time with Dom, I have some legal analysis that I've actually been over here researching for you. So.
Yeah. Mitchell versus Mahoney.
There you go.
All right, I have a
There was actually
a
case relevant in Pennsylvania Supreme Court at one point.
I want you to get the second Supreme Court justice on the show. I don't know if Sandra Smith is a lawyer on Fox. Gorsuch has a new book out. She has an exclusive interview. Now, I've had Sammy Alito, Dan. You can tell them at the Supreme Court 7 times.
Alito's a big golfer, right?
I don't see golf in Sam Alito, no. Who'd be a golfer on the Supreme Court? Kavanaugh looks like a golfer with the, when the drink thing comes by, I suspect it might be something going on. All right, 855.
There's a quote of Justice Alito joking during oral arguments saying, I'd like to take the day off and play golf.
Well, it could be arranged. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Talk Radio 1210's Huge Politics and Pints with Donald Trump Jr. is moving to Thursday, September 12th. Join Dom Giordano as he talks to Donald Trump Jr. about all things Trump. Just 2 days after the planned presidential debate. The new date, Thursday, September 12th at Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood. Your tickets include a copy of Letters to Trump by former President Trump. A cash bar will be available. Get your tickets now at 1210WPHT.com. That's 1210WPHT.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
If the summer heat hasn't convinced you to replace your old windows and doors, then maybe my good friends at Guided Door and Window can help by giving you an extra month to do so at their best prices of the year. Take advantage of Guida's big summer sale and receive 40% off each window you buy. That's right, 40% off all expertly installed high-performance triple pane windows. And 40% off any high-quality door, including insulated entry doors, sliding patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. Plus, you can easily buy now and pay later with Guida's low monthly payment plans or interest-free financing up to 18 months. Don't wait until fall like everyone else to replace your windows and doors. You need to go Guida right now so you can take advantage of these huge savings. All prior sales excluded. Offer expires at the end of August. So call Guida today to schedule a free in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Venaria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Venaria is and has been my dentist also. And doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to him, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Veneria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Veneria's office does everything. Dr. Veneria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
Hey, Ambler. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Follow us anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dan, if Charlie Gasparino is not doing pull-ups or whatever, I'd like to get him on here. I'm watching here the stock market, and I'm watching what's going on, and Stuart Varney put it best this morning, the factors and what we're seeing that's massive. I was on the air, I think, when it started on 2008, that massive day when we really had a collapse. They had to put the brakes on, that weekend of difficulty, if you remember. Varney today said that the consumer under Bidenomics is tapped out. The housing market is slowing, so people are selling off. He talked about oil again. Iran is going to attack Israel. It's going to be very interesting if Josh Shapiro is the guy, what he has to say about all this and what Harris has to say about it. And this all plays into, would you want someone like Harris shepherding the economy as president? In addition to which, here's the factoid of the day. Stuart Varney saying today that Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, has $277 billion in cash. So, wow. If he's not in the market, I find that number to be hard to believe, that he has $277 billion in cash. Kind of tip would you leave like that? By the way, Dan, quick tipping story. You're out with Maisie, 4 people, right? You're in AC?
Yep. So we go to a buffet, and it's on comps. My dad's a big gambler with his wife.
Yes.
So we go to one of the casinos, go to a casino buffet. And, you know, I think it's our duty, obviously, to take care of the tip if somebody else is, you know, essentially paying for the dinner. So Maisie handles it, and she lays forth two 20s down, $40 for 4 people on a free meal. And all of us just instantly clinched. And Maisie, as the server walked away, we were all like, what'd you just give the server? She goes, $40. Is that bad? And we're like, well, 20 would have been sufficient, right?
Definitely 20.
Yeah.
I would have been angling maybe for 18 on that, but you look bad, so bump it up to 20. God knows, Dan, I'll tell you this. Maisie and Roe have been out to dinner at Gallows together at one point. My God.
Oh, yeah.
Never happening again. Worlds are colliding here. If the two of them are there together.
The scheming.
And Roe will say, well, Maisie's an accountant. This buys goodwill and all the rest of it.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, it's just, so we actually met Dom when we were in Atlantic City in the service industry. I was working as a server and as a doorman at a comedy club, and she was a server at a comedy club. So because of that, when we went back, it seemed like she wanted to tip like 25% everywhere we went. And on like $100 bill, that's a big tip, Dom. So
yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, The Millionaire Next Door is an all-time great book, and in there they talk about some of the skills the millionaire next door would have, meaning, you know, they're not somebody who would be seen as a millionaire. If you own more than one shop, you have a little confab of more than one shop, whatever your business, it's dry cleaner, you have 2 or 3 of them, possibly you could be a millionaire. It's the partner doesn't spend the money. That's what helps you to remain the millionaire.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Maisie and Roe didn't get that memo.
Apparently not. Well, when we go out to eat in Atlantic City, particularly, man.
Yeah.
And Roe's the same way. She loves tipping. I mean,
it's generous, but there's a point here of craziness. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210 and you get in. Side question today. We haven't gotten anybody on board yet because we've been talking too much. Hit us with that all-time bad or good PSA. Smokey the Bear turns 80. The Smokey the Bear, a mascot, this Thursday, I think it is, or Friday. Joe in Chester.
Smokey
the Bear.
Smokey Bear.
And Jimmy Matthews solidifies that. Thank you, Jimmy, for the backup.
You don't call him Jimmy the Matthews.
Yeah. Jimmy of Matthews. Yes, let's go to Joe in Chester County. All right, Joe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dom. Hey, Dom, the only walls that Kamala Harris will support is Tim Walz.
Yeah, that's anyway, how long have you been sitting on that line? I hope it is Walz, Joe. You never said it. I'll be saying it today at 2:30 if it's Walz. I want this guy. I want to see how far he can throw the Frisbee with the dog. I want the media to say, hey, show it for us how you throw it. Have you seen the guy? That guy's not throwing a Frisbee, I'll tell you.
I'm hearing you. I would. Yeah.
What do you have? What's a PSA?
Yeah. So this is an old one, but this is the Indian in the canoe paddling in the river, and he comes upon a big pile of trash, and then the big ending is there's a tear coming out of his eye.
Yes. Now, we don't know. I think it was not established whether he truly was a Native American, but yeah, that guy with the tear, that is a very good one. Thank you, Joe. Very good one.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
All right, there you go. All right, that is a very, very good one. You can hit us with one that everybody comes on, you just can't take it either. We've already hit a couple of those out. I said your brain on drugs is one of those. I don't see anybody saying this. I'll take this one off, too. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. That was formerly, and I think they still use that title, the United Negro College Fund. Used that for years very, very effectively. Okay, Scott Presler is going to be here at 2 o'clock. He actually commissioned a poll, and the good news is, well, his poll, the people that did it, show 48-48 here in Pennsylvania, Harris, Trump. But a lot of persuadables in there potentially, and the more that they hear about Harris's background, the more persuadable they are toward Trump. Now, I'm not saying that Trump has found, and I'm wondering, and I'll let you know if I think they have found some footage, something so dramatic. I'll tell you, one of the things that bothers, and I said this at the height of it, Dan, way back to Obama, the Second Amendment, the Constitution, the right to bear arms, for all the obvious reasons. To me, it's on the same level. You're not taking away my health insurance. You are not going to put me into public health insurance. And Kamala Harris has been on the record. That's what she wants to do. She's fine with that. That's the way it should be. You'll be getting great health insurance. No. I remember at the height of it with Obamacare. Even Obama did not ultimately go where they wanted to go, which is you couldn't have health insurance, national health insurance, the government. Everybody's under the government plan. That's her position. Now, I know the border is fresh in our mind now to run those ads. That's exactly right. But I'm going to play you three guys in a barber shop. This was on CNN, asked about VP Harris. Is she black? And we'll play you what they said about it. Now, Trump is not handling that effectively, but it's an issue that's out there as far as this identity politics. All that straight ahead at 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hey, now's the time to get Rescue Natural Supplements during their annual Customer Appreciation Sale. Rescue is celebrating you, and you save 50% when you mix and match any 5 products or more with the code VIP50. Plus, you'll receive free shipping. Try the popular Rescue 1250 Omega-3 for heart health, Rescue Probiotic for better digestion, or Rescue Oracine for more energy. Again, mix and match any 5 or more single bottles and enjoy 50% off plus free shipping. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable Rescue product consultant. And if you're new to Rescue, be sure to create your own account to earn more exclusive savings. Again, use the code VIP50 to receive 50% off and free shipping when you mix and match 5 or more Rescue Natural Supplements. That code is VIP50. That's res-q.com.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7. And we guarantee, if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
If you're looking to furnish your home or replace your old furniture, your journey begins and ends at Bucks County Estate Traders. One piece of advice, make sure you have time when you come here. The 58,000 square foot showroom is a furniture wonderland. Quality high-end pieces with inventory changing daily. It's all here. Mid-century modern, traditional, vintage, antique, and name brands. They'll ship anywhere, or you can pick up in-store. Bucks County Estate Traders in Hatfield or at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Len Lundy of Lundy Law. Every year, millions are hurt in car accidents. The numbers are overwhelming. But if you're injured in an accident, don't feel overwhelmed. Call Lundy Law. We remove the stress and get you the maximum compensation you deserve. We hope we never meet because of an accident. But if we do, we're here for you. Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather sponsored by Express Employment Professionals.
We could see a thunderstorm at some point tonight. Overnight, we'll get down to 76. Tomorrow, thunderstorms very possible during the afternoon, high of 92. Sunday, 87. Thunderstorms in the afternoon possible. Monday, right back up to the mid-90s and mostly sunny conditions.
If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. Byron Donalds yesterday was brilliant. Now, you know, the way President Trump has approached it at these rallies with Harris, it's a legit issue. I remember when President Obama ran the first time, he ran as biracial, a foot in both camps. Then the census, right before he ran for the second term, said he was African American. So these identity things happen. Carefully, you can talk about it. And Byron Donalds did a great job yesterday, so much so that Stephanopoulos, Dan, had to say, I don't know where to start. I'm exhausted here when he handed off to Christie. Here's a little bit of that exchange with Representative Byron Donalds, 13A.
George, actually, I'm not the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now. That's
you've done it.
I understand why
sir,
you've done it up.
You've done it 3 times. Every single answer you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
every single answer you gave, you repeated the slur.
You asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now. George, you asked me the question 3 times. I responded, but I'm
and every single time you repeat the slur. That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George, so then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. You can go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to, or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong. And you've now established that for our audience. Trump also said at the convention that he would pardon January 6 rioters.
Everybody look for themselves. Let's move on.
I've already said that. Go ahead.
On the internet, everybody. Let's move on.
I love that Donald said, Dan, he is so calm in these things, like he's above it. He's just peering out at Stephanopoulos here. Of course, I tagged in Now, Christie and Donalds, that would be a match that I'd like to see. Here are guys in the barber shop, though, where CNN interviewed them, asking that question about Vice President Harris and this identity situation. Here's how it sounded.
Is Kamala going to make you a little more likely or less likely to vote Democrat?
Well, hold on, first, Ray, hold on, Ray. Is Kamala black, yes or no? I'm going to let her speak on that. But to me, no. Oh. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I share that same view.
Wow. Is Kamala black, yes or no?
I heard she was. I heard she's half black and half Asian.
All right. Now, after that, various people on the other side say, well, these are very low information voters. That's a good way to, rather than addressing it and saying what she has said or where she is on all this. Look, is this going to be the core and the winning issue here? No. Is Trump handling it well at some of these rallies, getting caught up in it? No. But it gets at, again, identity politics, how important that is to the other side. Just look at the negativity around Josh Shapiro. For what? He is their picture book candidate on paper. Pennsylvania, 19 electoral. It's a no-brainer. Versus this Walsh guy. Dan, if I'm inside the mind of Josh Shapiro, I'm thinking I'd cut this guy and that dog up before lunchtime. You kidding me? He's ruthless. He's got it all. You know, when it comes to theirs, he's a great chameleon. He's protecting your reproductive rights, as he always says, right? What's the only thing holding it back? Their anti-Semitism, their anti-Israel, particularly. Hezbollah has fired more attacks. Israeli cities are on alert. They're meeting in the White House in the Situation Room crisis because Iran's going to attack. So what does Shapiro say then? What does he do with these mobs? And a guy I've never understood, Dan, I get it, Arizona electoral votes, but this Mark Kelly guy is like just, I don't know, warmed over, tepid. There's nothing about it. I know his military service and all that, of course. But other than that, I don't see why she'd be considering him. Okay, coming up, I've been told, it's a little alert here, that we need a special Dan time. There might be even a legal opinion here.
Yeah, from a legal expert.
Have I shown my arm, Dan, for this last hour? I haven't shown it yet. There you go. Take a look at that.
Oh, it looks like it's getting worse.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting worse. Is there a doctor watching out there? We may need a diagnosis here. Dan, if I can't hit the ball 280 yards anymore because of this, there's going to be trouble. Just remember that. Thank God, Dan, it's not the throwing arm. Thank God it's not the 40-yard throwing arm.
You know,
thank God it's not that.
You could act like it's your left arm, though. Like you drive with 2 feet, you could throw with 2 arms.
I'm trying to think of what I'm ambidextrous about.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. What are you ambidextrous about? Let's get the list going.
Oh, no, I can go to the basket and shoot left-handed. Oh, the left-hand hook is deadly. Notice that action.
Believe it or not, in the early 50s in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, there was a similar case to which we're talking about here that made it all its way to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. And Dom, do I have news for you? You might have a case here. Tune in after the break.
Wait a minute. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court, that bunch of progressives may have ruled something that could be useful here.
I mean, were they progressive in 1951?
Dennis, I would say to them, I'm not a practicing lawyer now, but, all right, big Dan Time with Dom, then your calls, then Scott Presler and Dom's Money Melody. All straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk about Dr. Benz for a moment. I've told you for years, I don't know, there's probably double figures now, about my friend, dentist, and great board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Benz, and the Benz Dental Group. He's known for helping people overcome fear, anxiety. Even if it's mild, sometimes it's really tough. We had this woman from Ocean City, hadn't been to a dentist in 8 years, that went to Dr. Benz. And I told you I recently had a permanent tooth put in. And in the past, oh, my God. They have to shave it down, bite, and that little blue stuff they put in there. None of that stuff. Put it in. Is that all, Doc? Get out of here. Yes, you're done. That's that 3D printer. That's the skill of the artisans he has that work with him and Dr. Benz and his staff. So Dr. Benz is got all that going on. If you're looking for a dentist, or maybe there's an issue that you need to look at, this is the place to go right there in East Norriton, the Benz Dental Group. You find them at Benz, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com, or call them for that appointment today, 610-272-6949. Visit BenzDentalGroup.com. Tell them Dom G sent you, 610-272-6949.
Hey, it's Nick Cale. Join me Wednesday on WPHT's Veteran Spotlight. Every month, we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. This Wednesday, August 7th, we honor Air Force veteran Kathy Christian for her service and contributions to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me. 40 days up to 40 pounds. Shed that summer vacation weight by reaching out to NJ Diet. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days and without any shots. NJ Diet is all natural. They use your hair, saliva, and blood work, along with bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that get your body into the fat-burning zone so you can finally lose that weight. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA info to help you keep it off. Best of all, it's contractually guaranteed. You're fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. You even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations in Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, and Cherry Hill, or available worldwide with live online video consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consultation today by going to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to getcash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to getcash.com. That's getcash.com. Getcash.com.
Hey, Southampton. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
With Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan Time with Dom, and we enter into Dan Court in today's Dan Time. With the professional know-nothing on legal issues, Dan Borowski, who has no legal expertise whatsoever, but is one hell of a researcher. I give myself that at least. And Dom, earlier today, we discussed a situation that played out over the weekend where you were golfing with your son or sons. Were there multiple sons
Only one son
witnesses?
and girlfriend who shall remain nameless.
Okay, so
Yes.
2 witnesses here at least, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you were out on the golf course and you were golfing kind of slowly, admittedly, and there was a team behind you that
I
had...
didn't admit slowly.
Well,
We were
I mean,
playing
you guys
good.
were walking and they had a golf cart.
That's it, yes.
And you fire one shot, or they fire one shot, right?
Yes.
To kind of maybe hurry you guys or something, and it falls short. Second shot goes over Luke's head. Third
Yes.
shot donks Dom right in the arm. Why don't we show the YouTube audience, youtube.com/
there you go. There's
at
the
12
arm
and
in question.
WPHT,
Yes,
the
look at
bruise.
that.
So a huge bruise now on Dom's arm. So Dom, I looked up. That's what I do great. I looked up now a Supreme Court case in Pennsylvania, Dom, about negligent golfers and errant golf shots. Charlie Getz versus Claude Freed, 1954. So 1951, September 8th, Dom, Charlie Getz, Claude Freed, and 2 other men were playing a foursome at Lebanon Country Club. After completing 18 holes, they decided to play more holes, no caddy being available. They carry their own bags. Claude, having the highest score on the 18th hole, was the last to drive. So Claude hooks his first shot out of bounds, a distance of approximately 35 yards. He hooks a second shot, and it goes out. So the other guys then go on the course, including a guy named Charlie, to look for the ball. Without any notice, Claude then fires a third shot, and it donks Charlie right in the noggin, Dom, and injures Charlie pretty significantly. So Claude argues that Charlie was negligent for going on the course while he was clearly firing shots, while Charlie said it was pretty clear that, you were we were picking up your balls. You could see us up there, and he knocked me right on the noggin. It makes it all the way up to the Supreme Court, Dom, and they determined that because there were 3 shots fired, and that's very important here, that after the second shot, he's deemed negligent. So a person who plays golf assumes some risks of the game. For example, he knows that every shot sometimes hooks or slices, and when he's playing on a parallel hole or the same hole, he knows that his partner discovers his ball is out of bounds, returns to replay the shot, and remains within the orbit of the replayed shot. So the thing is here, Dom, I know it's getting a little confusing, but the fact that there was 3 shots fired in your case might go back to the Supreme Court case. Because Charlie, right, won the case because the fact that there were 3 shots fired proved that Claude was being negligent in the dangerousness of his shots. So the fact that there was 1 shot fired first, and the second shot fires, and you guys kind of say a warning of, hey, guys, what's up? A third shot's fired, you might be able to prove in a court of law that was at least negligence and could win you something because that golfer should have yelled at least what we heard earlier in the show to say that there was a golf ball coming to you. So it's negligence on the other golfer's part, Dom. You might have a case here.
Thank you. People's Court with Dan. No, Dan, that case. Well, it's rare that you get hit by the guy that's playing in the same foursome with you.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a pattern here. Anybody can make one mistake. Even then, I think you're liable.
So this is what the Supreme Court determined. It's a duty for every player to give timely and adequate warning, usually by the word for, of a shot which he's about to make that has reasonable grounds that he believes might strike another player. 2, a player assumes a risker is guilty of contributory negligence and want to do care if he intentionally or carelessly walks ahead or stands within the orbit of a shot of a person playing behind him intentionally. So that would have been your case if you did it and you were playing in the same and went intentionally in front of him. That's your stupidness, but that's not what happened here. And 3, a player is required to, so this one's kind of unrelated, but if there's 2 balls on the fairway, right, a third one has to be called out no matter what, just in case. So here are some cases, right, that a golfer may be liable if they violate this golf etiquette. If a golfer drops a second ball to take a mulligan without warning others in his group that he intends to do so, then hits a shot striking one in his group who walked ahead, that golfer is likely responsible for injuries caused. That's not, again, what happened.
Wait a minute. How did Johnny Z and mulligans get in here?
A golfer is liable for injuries if he fails to warn of an errant shot, so that applies again.
4, right.
And then finally, the most important, the decision to hit or wait until golfers are ahead of outer range is extremely important. If a golfer mistakenly concludes that the players ahead are out of range, but then hits a shot further than expected, the golfer will still likely be responsible for injuries caused by such a shot.
That's it right there. So it's not intentionality. You run the risk. Thank you, Dan. That last part's critical. If you think, I didn't think I could hit a ball 250 yards, and you do, that's on you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now I'm a lawyer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. I will give you a consultancy fee to work with Luke on this. DJ's on a special team of operations if this doesn't go well, ready to go.
So I don't think it matters whether or not you signed a waiver, but again, you never said you signed a waiver.
Right.
There was just a question of if there was a waiver, and you were just disputing even if there wasn't a waiver, or even if there was a waiver, it wouldn't matter. And I think you're correct on that notion, too.
Here's a broad thing. People never play golf, Dan, I think is the case here. Just because people put a sign up or say you're signing a waiver, if it's unreasonable what happens, they can't get out from under that. And what you talked about is what's unreasonable. You're only signing a waiver for things that are reasonable that you're taking part in this that normally happen.
Yeah.
That's all a waiver is.
Yeah, if these guys were shooting them, and especially the second shot, that third shot particularly proves negligence or some kind of intent there.
Right. I go bungee jumping, and they go, oops, it was default, the rope was no good or whatever. No, you're not getting well. There's a reasonable bungee jump. Even there, the craziness of that. You can't just let people die and say you signed it. I mean, how many more examples do we need to put out there? My goodness.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. That was quite a Supreme Court case. Dan, I could see if I said that to that pro there. My producer just researched a Supreme Court case. He would counter with, I've been hit many times.
Again, that case, Getz versus Freed, 105A, 2D 102, PA 1954.
I need a lawyer, at least a doctor lawyer, to call in here. So I'm surprised we haven't. And Dan, I hate to be one of those guys saying you would sue, but I didn't know. You had two choices there. Either get into violence or say, we're going to sue.
Witness called to stand. Suze loves Jeffy on youtube.com/@12WPHT. She still says that she was there in the woods, and she says it's Jimmy Matthews who yelled former right at Dom before doing it. Former president.
All right. Scott Presler doesn't look like a golfer to me. Dan, how about when I asked Chairman Watley about, I live near a golf course. That's about all he was prepared to say. All right. 855.
I mean, that's more than I have.
All right, we got the side question. By the way, we have a sponsor today, too, for the lightning round. Big step up. People love the side question. I'm coming to you on that. We'll get a winner today. Smokey Bear, the Bear, 80 years young, this August 9th. So we'll honor that by asking all-time best or worst PSA. And Presler has his own pollster now. He's on tour of all 67 counties, and he's trying to take people that are here illegally off the ability to vote. Scott Presler, the one and only, next on Talk Radio 1210.
Over the summer, get a jump on the new school year for your child. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and make the most of these summer months and get a plan in place for your student this fall. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200.
When their world isn't safe, they need someone to notice, to wonder and worry, to be their voice. If you suspect child abuse in any way, report it. You can be their hero. Your call can change their world.
Report suspected abuse by calling 1-800-932-0313 or visit keepkidssafe.pa.gov for more information. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
We don't care who you vote for in the upcoming election. You know why? Because this is not a political ad. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group meet with people every day wondering if they should be doing something different with their money because it's an election year. At Retire Ready Financial Group, we want you to know where your money is, how it's performing, and if the market does go down, how does it affect your retirement? We call it a portfolio snapshot, and we do it at no charge. Our goal is for you to have confidence as you enter retirement. Confidence to spend, and confidence that you won't run out of money. Let's vote those election worries right out of your retirement. For your complimentary portfolio snapshot, call 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or go to retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
If it's been a minute since you've considered an Infinity, now's the time to check out Infinity of Westchester, a member of the Bush Auto Group, where we have exceptional offers just for you. Enjoy rates as low as 4.9% for 36 months on Infinity certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus, every new Infinity comes with 3 years free maintenance. Don't wait. Visit in-store or online today at infinityofwestchester.com. Philly rides with us.
For eligible individuals 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home. All done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try. That's JABRA enhance.com/try. jabraenhance.com/try.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Hey, Dan, how's that call going to Morgan and Morgan?
John Morgan.
John Morgan, yeah, for the
Swords
people.
Colton getting involved.
Oh, man, we'll be, Mitchell and Mahoney will be, oh, goodness. Scott Presler is still out there. I'm looking at, I think on his Twitter, or he sent this to me. He'll be homebound here in Pennsylvania, except, I think, for the duration, for one visit to Minnesota, and then the rest of the time here in Pennsylvania, 67-county tour, trying to take illegal aliens off the voting rolls, if there are any. He also now commissioned a poll. Good for him. I've always liked this, and it's got some really hopeful information here, but realistic, saying that Harris and Trump are neck and neck. It was commissioned by Early Vote Action PAC. They are head-to-head. Now, you know about RFK Jr. with the bear, Dan. I mean, how many nutbag things is this guy involved in, right? I don't know if that's going to hurt him as far as voters.
What time? You never gotten drunk and, thrown a bear into Central Park and pretend it was hit by a bike?
God, yeah.
No, it's a common thing we all do.
Crossing two joggers. I mean, just the guy is okay. You're seeing my.
Just one of those normal days riding home and person in front of me in a van hits a bear. Decided I was going to pick it up and skin it for road.
And I don't get the wife. What is she seeing this guy? But that's another story. Let's go to Scott Presler here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott.
Cheryl Hines eating a bear.
Welcome back in, and congrats on getting your first poll commission.
Thank you. Yes. So. This was Fabrizio, Lee, and Associates. And as you mentioned, in a head-to-head, the poll shows 48-48, Harris-Trump. And then when you add the other candidates, like you just mentioned, RFK Jr., Dr. Jill Stein, Dr. Cornell, it's still 45-45, with, I think, 4% going to RFK and then 2% to others, with some undecideds out there. And so this is, look, no one ever said this was going to be an easy race, and especially with the Democrats seeing Biden so unfavorable that they undemocratically had to force him out and install Kamala. But the honeymoon phase We're going to find out today whether or not that's over. I still have yet to receive data from the Department of State, and I have been messaging them once a day, every day, simply asking the Pennsylvania Department of State, can they with certainty tell me that not a single non-citizen or illegal alien is on the voter rolls in Pennsylvania? And they have not been able to answer that question.
Well, if you find time, my buddy, tongue-in-cheek, Al Schmidt, who's Mr. Let's Stop Misinformation, he really is the czar. You think he would be able to answer that. So, Scott, I commend you, and you're going to be on a tour around this county to county. I wanted to go back to the poll, though, first, though. One sub-headline here, which I think is important, that persuadable voters, and there's still a number of them out there one way or the other, the more they hear about Harris, the more they actually have information about what she did as DA and about her positions, which she still has not renounced. This is an interesting strategy, Scott, where she has some person we never hear behind the scenes say, she's fine with fracking now. She either has to say it one way or another. These persuadable people, the more they hear about her, because how much is unknown about Trump? Very little. I mean, everybody in the world knows anything you want about him. She's more unknown.
I agree. And at the end of the day, look, it showed she's more unfavorable than Trump is, even in this quote-unquote honeymoon phase. And with the stock market crashing, when people are going to look at their 401ks with the continuing rise of gas prices, food prices, and if Kamala's in there, your electricity bills are going up because she will cut down on fracking. She will cut down on natural gas, which is critical to jobs in the infrastructure of Pennsylvania. And so I think as people learn more, as you just mentioned, I think her unfavorable is going to go up, and you're going to see President Trump go up in Pennsylvania. But with that being said, we need to continue registering voters. And so I'm very proud to see that at this moment in time, my organization, Early Vote Action, we have hired a full-time state director in Pennsylvania. We have 6 full-time staffers on the ground right now across PA, and we are onboarding more with the hope of having a total of 19 full-time staffers across PA going into the November election.
Well, wait a minute, though. Here's the project I'm most interested in. The cloning, Dan, of Scott Presler. How is that going on? Have we cloned him yet?
Well, there's already 16 of him.
Well, yeah, but I want the original clone here.
Is this the original Scott Presler we're talking to?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and it's also going to turn into a tour. So, yes, I announced, I'm actually stuck in Tampa right now. You got this terrible weather pattern going on, and so my flights are getting canceled. And I'm using my time to get more volunteers, sending them to our full-time staffers across the state. But as soon as I get back, I'm going to embark on a 67 Commonwealth tour across the state. And as I'm visiting, the Wayne County Fair, to the Juniata Fair, to the Washington Fair, and hitting every single county, I'm also going to be hand delivering a note from Early Vote Action to every single board of election, basically stating to them, we would like confirmation in writing that not a single illegal alien or non-citizen is on the voter rolls. But furthermore, we want to find out, what are they going to do to ensure that Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, for example, does not run out of paper ballots on Election Day? I want to hear their plan to know how many paper ballots they are ordering, how many they have on hand, how many they plan on having on hand 2 weeks before Election Day, to make sure that none of those things that have been going wrong on Election Day in the past are not going to also happen on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. And so we're very serious from not only doing voter registration and hiring, but making sure that we have election integrity. And I am forcing the Department of State to act.
Absolutely. Scott, you in Tampa, you may not have seen this, but the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania has ruled that digital images of completed absentee and mail-in ballots are to be considered public records. That means you can't get rid of them. And that's a great way, I think, to assure people, and that's what you're trying to do, too, on this, and I am with mail-in balloting, and also to put the fear of God, hopefully, into these county boards this one in Erie, but it's across the state, this landmark decision. They must be treated as right to know and also as public records, that you cannot get rid of the digital records of this.
That's good. That's a victory. But remember, once a vote is locked in, it's very difficult to remove that vote. And the Democrats are going to be utilizing 50 days of early voting. And so, again, I hope everybody listening to this, that you've been listening for the last year while I've been going on Dom's show, the Democrats are going to have 50 days to play with, and we must have an all-of-the-above approach to voting if we're going to be successful. Now, I will say one other victory that I saw is I go onto the PAVoterServices.pa.gov website where people can register to vote or change their party affiliation, and I noticed a slight change that they have now added at the very top language red and bold that says that not only must you be a resident of Pennsylvania, but you must also be a U.S. citizen. And I do think that our public pressure campaign daily has forced them to add that language. And so they're watching, and let's see if let's continue to put that very peaceful public pressure on the Department of State.
Absolutely. Where do people go for early vote action?
Please, we continue to need your financial help. Earlyvoteaction.com. If you want us to hire these 19 full-time staffers across the state, earlyvoteaction.com. We have WinRed, Anadot, checks, and we also accept crypto. So there is an opportunity for everybody to get involved.
Absolutely. Scott, thank you so much. Again, constantly inventive and persistence is the watchword here.
And I want to make it clear that we, as a former dog walker and an animal lover, we will not be abusing any bears in the woods at earlyvoteaction.com. So you can support our work here.
Exactly. Thank you, Scott, very much. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, boys.
All right, Scott Presler is going to come in studio, Dan. When he's here, I'd like to walk over to Philadelphia County office over there. Well, I'd like to see him with Al Schmidt, Mr. Misinformation, to see what Al Schmidt's going to do with this stuff. Again, he's really the Secretary of Offense. Now he's a bit of the Secretary of Defense, Dan. He's a little bit coaching on the defensive side along with Linda Kurtz.
Sounds that way.
Yeah. By the way, happy to announce that Byron Donalds, Congressman Byron Donalds, will be on the show tomorrow at 12:30. And we'll talk with him about his back and forth with Stephanopoulos. Look, I realize how vicious ABC would try to be with Trump if they're in there. Is there any chance, I'll ask him, though, that Harris would actually finally have to answer some questions? And I think Harris's advisors, Dan, the smarter ones, are saying, look, they're going to be going nuts saying you didn't do an interview and how could you be president? Don't listen to them. Just don't do it. You know you can't do it. That's what I'd be telling her. You know, come on, you can't do that. You can't take questions. Look at the Lester Holt interview. He wasn't killing you. He just wanted to know, when are you going to go to the border? We've been to the border. When are you going to go? I haven't been to Europe, too. What's your point? I could see her just randomly, Dan, throwing these out. Over and under, is she actually going to do a news conference, something like that?
No.
Well, I think a news conference she would do better.
Well,
because they might be able to get 3 or 4 of these people in the tank. If she does a one-on-one interview, then
yeah, even that, it's going to be pre-approved questions and all that.
That's harder for them to do. It'll come out more easily. If you have a whole scrum and they're all yelling stuff, but you only call on 3 or 4 shills, might be easier to get by.
Risk this again, Dom?
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
And I'd love to have Lester Holt. All right, Lester, what was going on in your head at that point? Where were you ready to come with the next question? Lester Holt just sat there like this, Dan, looking straight ahead. Oh, yeah, this is good. All right, so it is a return, and it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Has all the money gone?
All right, we're playing for a 4-pack of tickets to see the Reading Phillies versus the Erie Seawolves at First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania, Sunday, September 8th. For tickets, visit readingphillies.com. All right, Dan.
So, Dom, today we're doing PSAs, and I thought I'd take someone that haunted my daytime television weekday watching through the 90s and 2000s by drawing tears every time she popped on. So, Dom, here is this queen of PSAs singing a song. I mean, she was even parodied in South Park at one point. Here she is singing a song. We want to know who today's cover artist is today that's very well known for a PSA. Take a listen.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black.
Great voice.
Yeah, great voice.
Yeah. Don't want to give any more clues, just besides she's very well known for singing in a PSA, was parodied in South Park, and haunted me through the 90s and 2000s by drawing tears every time she'd pop on the screen.
All right, 855-839-1210. You can get on AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. We'll get your answer, have you off to the Reading Phillies. Take your calls next on Talk Radio 1210.
Into the light of dark black night.
Hey everyone, it's Donald Trump Jr. Join me and Dom Giordano Thursday, September 12th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey for the next Politics and Pints with WPHT. We will talk all things Trump, the 2024 election, and my father's book, Letters to Trump. South Jersey and PA suburbs are hugely important to electing Donald Trump president. Just head to 1210WPHT.com for tickets right now. Hope to see you there.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Let me tell you about my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Great guy. Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, or implant dentistry, look no further. Dr. Veneria and his award-winning team, they have your whole family covered, just like mine. Dr. Veneria's office exceeds CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control with centralized UV sterilization of airflow to ensure your safety. Locations right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury, 856-786-2020 or veneriadental.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Hurricane Debbie makes landfall in Florida as a Category 1 storm. Travelers are seeing chaos at Philadelphia Airport today as several dozen flights have been delayed and canceled. The U.S. financial markets are on the decline after a weaker than expected job report Friday.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips,
And yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, every day, Dom's Money Melody. Today, tapping into PSAs, which is our side question. Let's hear the clue again.
Phil's tickets today, too.
Yep. Tell us who it is that's singing here.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise.
All right, let's go to John in Ben Salem. All right, John, who is that?
I think it's Sarah McLachlan.
Yes, apparently it haunted Dan through. It explains a lot, Dan. That's why this ended up this way. John,
you can concur, though. Come on, that commercial, every time it came on, there was no dry eyes watching it.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was.
Very sad.
Hi, I'm Sarah McLachlan. Please say you'll be the answer for an innocent animal who's
it's
suffering
still on.
right now.
They're still on.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it recently. I'll put John on hold. He's off to the Reading Phillies. So I can't imagine, Dan, that the holdup, because we thought by now they would announce the VP choice, since that VP choice for Kamala Harris will be in Philadelphia tomorrow. Either, we'll be there with her. That's the start of the campaign. Whether it's Shapiro or not, are they waiting to see what breaks out in Israel? In other words, if it's all-out war, if Iran attacks, which there is a sense of this being imminent, and there's a massive response, but the clock is ticking. They said today, and certainly tomorrow is the event. Is it tomorrow night's the event? Maybe they'll push it back to midnight or something. I think this could be a factor here because this would be really widespread. And Shapiro, even the chameleon, Dan, the one thing that I support him in, that he has been on record pro-Israel, what was it? Goldie, you can't hide, going after that nonsense.
Yeah.
And even at the University of Penn, he's been pretty consistent in that. So if we're seeing here what is rumored to be happening, what they're expecting, immediate attack from Iran, would she really pull away from him? And I'd say possibly. And this will be a tell that even the Philadelphia Inquirer would have to acknowledge somewhat of how anti-Israel, anti-Semitic the National Democrat Party is and what they're afraid of, their mob. All kinds of stories today as they head back to school, which wouldn't even be after Labor Day. I guess it'll be in a couple weeks. You're going to see big encampments again. Good. Let's hope they're out there by the thousands, because every day, every point that they're doing that, people are going to be seeing this, and they're going to have to take a stand on it.
So did you see what happened while we were away with Shapiro? With the pro-Palestinian folk who were very upset about him being rumored as the VP.
Right.
Allegedly, when he was a teenager or soon after.
Yes.
He volunteered with the IDF, and they're very upset with that. And Shapiro had to issue an apology.
Well, he took it out.
He was only 20?
Yeah. Well, there's more. He took it out of his Wikipedia page that he did that. Wow. He also wrote a column saying that given the Palestinian point of view, Dan, you can't have a two-state solution. Hello, I agree with him. Now he's backtracked on that, saying when he wrote that op-ed, he was only 20. What would we expect?
Okay.
And you know what I would say to him on this? I want to see how consistent he is. How many people are under fire for just about anything on social media, even if they were in their teens? If they're conservative or anything, Kyle Rittenhouse, somebody like that. Shapiro was a very mature guy at 20. They had a story the other day about his bar mitzvah and running for president and all that. So he doesn't think he's changed in that position? I don't think so, Josh.
You want to hear more criticism about him from leftist Twitter? From a New York correspondent for Haaretz, a opinion analysis from Israel, Middle East, Jewish world. Josh Shapiro's IDF duty is akin to Bernie Sanders' kibbutz stint. He's also been the most vocal critic of Israel among the frontrunners. Real problem with Shapiro is his alliance with Jeffrey Yass, who funds Israel's judicial coup and supported Trump's insurrection.
So Jeff
now they're
Yass,
coming after him for an alignment with Jeff Yass. Yeah,
I didn't know about that. I didn't know that. Yeah, Yass supports a lot of people.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Well, we have a school board member out there, Dan, and I'm not saying this guy didn't make a mistake on Twitter. His name is Formica, kind of like the Formica type of thing that they're trying to get
in Atlantic City if it's the same family.
Yeah, trying to get rid of because he put up on Twitter, I believe, according to the Inquirer, what exactly has this chick, meaning Kamala Harris, accomplished? Now, let's break this down a little bit with the word chick. You got to be really careful here. I know people are going, oh, my God. The Democrats are saying that's a lewd comment. How is chick lewd? It's used derisively when you want to say someone who is not significant or something like that. He's doing it in that manner. But there's an all-out petition. So your rule, since you ruled on the golf ball, how about a ruling on chick? How big of an offense is that?
I think this is just another in a line of why the hell are we playing a game of identity politics?
Right.
As a party.
Yeah.
If I were the guy, just apologize and move on.
That's
why the hell are we playing? Why are we making the issue now for voters becoming whether or not you're going to double down on insults and such like it's been in the past when you have both a presidential administration and a local administration here that's screwing up. I don't know why we keep going down this path.
I think it's a fair point to say, what has she accomplished? Yeah, leave it at that. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. What has she accomplished as VP? That's a policy thing. That's a thing that you can certainly get into. You got to realize it's a losing game, to Dan's point. You go anywhere near this, and it's going to be blown up into something incredible. So he ought to apologize on this and then hope to move on. They want to take him out from the school board, though. But lewd, I mean, it's a 60s throwback or something, but I don't know anything that's lewd here. Yeah. All right. So, are they waiting? Here's the question before us. Are they waiting, and the clock is ticking, to see if Iran attacks today? There's a fear this is imminent. And would that influence, in other words, if Israel essentially, by tonight or sometime tomorrow, is at war with Iran during this, would that knock Josh Shapiro out of the box? And if so, why? Because he would support Israel against an existential threat who, if they get a nuclear weapon, will use it? And the Harris messaging on Israel is, of course, I support the right of Israel to exist and defend itself, except she doesn't. Defend itself means killing every one of Hamas. She doesn't support that right. By the way, what's the guy's name again, Dan? I forgot it. He's a great caller, too. Fired up Blazing Jesse.
Yeah, he actually just called in for the contest.
Oh, did he? Yeah, thanks, Jesse. We have missed you. You haven't called in a while. Blazing Jesse called you earlier and said, Dom, have any comments on the defacing of the World War I statue memorial there at 5 Points, which is significant over in Cottman Avenue. And it says Hamas is here. It could be these nuts would do it, or it could be a prank, or it could be somebody trying to gin up. A little hard to sell, I say, but I would say this, that it just shows even that area is changing. That's a highly traveled area. You know, standing there at that World War I monument doing that in the past, I think would have been clearly out of bounds. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it ought to be thoroughly investigated, though. I mean, this type of nonsense is certainly possible. Would somebody supporting Hamas do that at 5 Points, though? Dan and I talked about it, and to his point, I think it's more likely some kind of prank / somebody trying to gin something up. It's bad enough as it is without defacing that. But 5 Points is sacred ground.
I mean, it just seems stupid for anyone on the left to do that, to be honest. I think they're smarter than that, I guess. But seems like just seems like something a stupid teenager would do to try to stir controversy.
One thing I agree that's consensus today, though, it's going to be very surprising if Harris doesn't pick either Shapiro or this Walz guy. And this Walz guy, I'm praying almost that this guy is the choice with throwing the Frisbee to the dog, and he knows rural Pennsylvania. He'll be able to win them. No, your policies, rural Pennsylvania knows you look down on them. You progressives, you hate them. They know that. They're the spot where Trump really came alive in 2016. So are they holding up Shapiro here because of what's going on in Israel? I think that's a real possibility that it's this serious. And they're looking at this because by now, we thought there'd be an announcement. Certainly, if they're looking, I realize they don't go by the nightly news as much anymore, social media and all that. I can't imagine a holdup at this point. It's got to be Shapiro on paper. I mean, there's no doubt. She can't win the presidency unless she wins Pennsylvania. It would take some kind of string of something I can't even imagine. And if you want to win Pennsylvania, he's the guy, even though he's overrated. Do I believe Josh Shapiro has 61% approval rating in Pennsylvania? That is stunning to me. Based on what? What would that be based on? All right, 855-839-1210. Coming to your calls. Earl of Tacony next, among others. Hit us on the side question, too. Waiting this out. Maybe during Rich's show today they'll announce, but I think could have something to do with Israel. Hey, I'm always happy to tell you about Batteries Plus Bulbs, Mount Laurel and Northfield. Trust Roy and his staff to fix your tech. He tells me every time to say that, Dom, to mention that. By the way, Roy is the king of customer service. Now, you know about great customer service, but when it's with tech, you don't want to feel like you're a dunce and you don't know anything. They don't do that. They try to coach you through it. They try to tell you what they're doing, and they're going to get it fixed. You know, over the years, how I've raved about this. This store in Mount Laurel was the first Batteries Plus Bulbs opened 18 years ago. So it's evolved into a superstore over a period of time. And Roy can do things like fix your watch and key fob, lifetime battery replacement program, pay once, any future replacements are free. You have a problem, phone, anything tech, business, Roy and his staff are the guy. Just mention my name, too, when you stop into either store, Mount Laurel and Northfield, and be entered to win a $50 gift certificate to use at the Mount Laurel and Northfield locations. No purchase necessary. The phone line to call and get service right now is 856-638-0778, 856-638-0778.
We could see a thunderstorm at some point tonight. Overnight, we'll get down to 76. Tomorrow, thunderstorms very possible during the afternoon, high of 92. Sunday, 87. Thunderstorms in the afternoon possible. Monday, right back up to the mid-90s and mostly sunny conditions.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
At the next Crash Proof event, you will learn how our proprietary Crash Proof retirement system includes inflation fighters that can increase your income up to 35% or more to fight rising costs without depleting your nest egg.
Geraldine Chiadetti from Warrington, Pennsylvania. Crash Proof puts a smile on my face every day. I sleep well, and it even put a bigger smile on my face today when I got my 13%. The interest we receive from Crash Proof is credited interest. I'm not worried about inflation one bit. We get Crash Proof income, but guess what? Your principal still doesn't go down because your interest from your money is making more money. When I was told we made 13%, my husband looked at me and I looked at him and we did the happy dance.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn September 17th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at Archbishop Wood High School in Warminster, PA, Saturday, September 28th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
We could see a thunderstorm at some point tonight. Overnight, we'll get down to 76. Tomorrow, thunderstorms very possible during the afternoon. High of 92. Sunday, 87. Thunderstorms in the afternoon possible. Monday, right back up to the mid-90s and mostly sunny conditions.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Tom Giordano show. Let me take a couple calls. And coming up, I mentioned this, we never got to it. These rats over in Jersey, over the weekend, they rescinded the sales-free back-to-school supplies in New Jersey. Belly aching, it would cost $35 million a year, and they're not going to have any of it. They want to waste it on something else. How do people continue to vote? How could this be the party? And what should Republicans do to seize on this? This is something that you would think would irritate people, given all these back-to-school lists, when they're spending all that money on sending their kids to New Jersey public schools. All that tax money, all the ridiculousness that we hear. How could they get rid of just this little niche like this that help people get a computer, get other things without the ungodly sales tax that Governor Christie is the one that allowed back in there big time and told us the trade-off is gasoline, gas taxes would remain the same. And then Murphy got in and said, no, I'm raising them too. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl. Afternoon. Yo, Earl. Earl. Put him on hold. Usually he's, let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. Hey, Robert. Good to talk with you again.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys, too. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm glad that you're okay from getting your top flight tattoo on your arm, Dom, and I'm glad it didn't hit your football throwing arm. Also, to that caller before who was telling you how great his 401k is, please take a look again, my man. That was because of green stocks that people were pressured to buy that were federally subsidized. The federal subsidies are drying up, and it's going to be a sell-off, and you're going to get killed if you have a lot of green stocks in your portfolio. And I'll leave that at that, because reality is about to hit home for these people. But my answer to the side question is, Dom, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? And I'll leave it at that.
Well, hold it. You know, Robert, that was
What's
so
that?
popular, that 10 p.m. and like so, all right, 10 p.m. and that Fox 29 was using that for quite a while. They took that and used it as part of their newscast.
Well, on that little test back when they came out with it, the parents would have probably scored a high B, like 89. Nowadays, I doubt we would get a passing grade, Dom.
Good one, Robert.
You guys have a good one, all right?
Where your children are.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I was at a station down in Atlantic City that was still doing that, like in 2015.
Yeah. Fox
No,
did it up
2020.
until a number of years ago. I thought it was pretty catchy, a good one, a good PSA. Dan Leslie, we got to get to maybe tomorrow, but chasing toilet paper, a coronavirus PSA.
Yeah, she sent.
Oh my, yeah, that strikes me as comedy gold. As a remember some of the stuff we had, Dan. We had a guy on talking about leaving your shopping goods at the door and then cleaning them off and all. Didn't seem preposterous then to me. At the height of it, we might have done anything, you know? The point is, as it continued, though, people still engaged in craziness.
Yeah. But, like, what you need all that toilet paper for?
Yeah. Do you have that one or no?
It's just a parody video. It's all instrumental.
Oh, it's all, okay.
Yeah.
All right. 855-839-1210. You get on board. So no more tax-free holiday for school supplies. It's a temporary exemption period, usually a week or so. They introduced it in 22-23. And computers, sale price of less than $3,000, school art supplies, instructional materials, et cetera. And they said, nah, we don't like this anymore. We're not going to help New Jersey parents. And I've been talking about this, it seems like, for 15 years. These back-to-school shopping lists of what they demand you have, and the precision of them, and the cost that's out there. Doesn't this help business, too? Doesn't it help them do better? Maybe people would want to spend more if they get more because they don't have the sales tax. And sales tax is one of my all-time take you inside the mind of Dom. This is where the power of a lot of these little petty people that are in elective offices, Dan. They come up with, this is going to be taxed, but that's not. I forget if you eat inside a fast food restaurant, I think that one's not taxed, and if you go to the drive-thru in Pennsylvania, it is. Something like an alpaca sweater is taxed, but not this type of sweater. There are thousands of these things that they come up with, and it gives them power, and it's hard to run them down. Like, why are you paying a sales tax on this, but not on something else? Constantly. But here's Jersey again. Do people not pay attention to this? Do they think, what kind of party would not give parents a break here during this period of time of back-to-school shopping? Why in the world is that the one thing they think is too expensive? It's costing them $35 million, like it's their money. Why not do that? Why did you do it originally? Is it or is it not a good idea? Now, I hear people on the right complaining, and they don't get it either, saying, well, we don't like these winners and losers carving this out. I hear you. Why this tax break but not others? Here's my point. I'm for any tax break we can get on something like this for wide popularity. Let's start there. Let's fight that battle. Let's win that. Every day that we're cutting a tax, no matter how petty, fight them for every penny, crypto or otherwise, whatever you call. Dan, what's the cryptocurrency? I know it's Bitcoin, right? But, I mean, is there a denominations, or is it just?
So you can get different types of crypto. I mean, Bitcoin's just one type of crypto.
Okay.
And Bitcoin's by far the leader of cryptocurrencies.
Right. But I mean, is it denominations?
No, what do you mean by that? No, you can't buy a $10 bill of.
What do you buy?
It's like trading on the stock market.
Okay.
How you can have a point percentage of a stock on the stock market. You have a point percentage of.
Okay.
I don't know what the price is right now, but Bitcoin's $13,000 for one Bitcoin. So you'd have 0.08 of a Bitcoin.
Boy, I think that's down today too.
Yeah, it is. They're all down.
Yeah.
My Coinbase isn't looking too good.
All right, coming up. Sponsor for the Lightning Round. All right, the Lightning Round is now sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Welcome to the segment, Cherry Hill Volvo. Get the luxury experience you deserve at Cherry Hill Volvo. Relationships really matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. And Judith, Yosef, and the team look forward to meeting you. Easy to get to, just over the bridge. You've heard them for years, particularly with Rich. Great company. Thank you for sponsoring the Lightning Round. We'll have that next here on Talk Radio 1210.
I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. As the store's owner, I want our clients treated with respect. I want our employees to have extensive product knowledge and be genuinely engaged with our clients. Our pricing is competitive, but our client attention is second to none. When considering a new car, consider Cherry Hill Volvo. Contact me directly. Relationships really do matter to us.
If you're looking to furnish your home or replace your old furniture, your journey begins and ends at Bucks County Estate Traders. One piece of advice, make sure you have time when you come here. The 58,000 square foot showroom is a furniture wonderland. Quality high-end pieces with inventory changing daily. It's all here. Mid-century modern, traditional, vintage, antique, and name brands. They'll ship anywhere, or you can pick up in-store. Bucks County Estate Traders in Hatfield, or at buckscountyestatetraders.com.
With NJ Diet, you can lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. They have customers that have lost 37 pounds, 100 pounds, and over 120 pounds, and they've kept it off. You'll have more energy, and you'll probably see better lab results. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to provide you personalized natural formulas and supplements so you can lose the weight, and DNA testing will help you keep it off. Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. Go to njdiet.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to getcash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to getcash.com. That's getcash.com. Getcash.com.
Your official home for Penn State football and basketball is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. Listen to every Nittany Lions game on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey,
Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Clementon. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That is right, and thanks to Cherry Hill Volvo for sponsoring the lightning round every day. The big finale here. You know, one other comment before we go to it, though. I'm really thinking that they're holding back the Harris announcement of the VP, Shapiro, based upon these meetings, and they're in the crisis room seeing what's happening. Could they do it tonight? Sure. I think it could go either way still. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony on Talk Radio 1210. Earl, go right ahead.
Yeah, when somebody goes and turns off the mute, that would be me.
Okay.
I muted my phone. Earlier on, Dan played a Bing Crosby song, and Bing was a huge golfer.
Yes.
In fact, he died on a golf course in Spain.
Yes, let's not mention that. True,
his last words were, "That was a great game of golf, fellas. Let's go have a Coca-Cola." And then he dropped dead. But you think Howard Stern is bad. Bing Crosby was in the day of live radio, and he loved to golf so much, he went and financed the development of magnetic tape so that he could record his shows ahead of time so he could spend more time golfing.
Wow. That is pretty good. Did he ever get hit in the head or arm as I did? Let's show that for YouTube again, Dan. Look, it's getting worse. It's bulging there. So, Earl.
Got a case, Tom.
But sticking with technology, if you remember when we went from analog television to digital, and they had all the commercials about rescanning your TV and getting special antennas for digital and stuff like that. Well, they did that globally. And in England, they went in 2007, brought back Max Headroom. They actually got Matt Pure to go and put on the costume again and do commercials to tell people about the change from analog to digital. And they had old analog Max Headroom looking all old and faded and sickly. And they made them look better when they switched everything over to digital.
Thank you, Earl. Dan, I had a contentious, one of the first national shows I fell in for, Jim Bohannon show. And then you had to go to Washington to do it, or I wanted to anyhow. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking Westwood One Studios, and I have this Eric Dyson on contentious book around race. And I'm looking at, it's a hard break coming up, and not a digital clock. And I'm trying to, in the middle of this argument, look at it and saying, am I at 25 seconds now? Oh, my God. When you haven't done it in eons, it was nuts.
The thing is, why do we have a digital analog clock?
Just tradition, I guess. Yeah,
is it
exactly.
Like,
but
in the studios, we have an analog clock.
I know.
That's digital.
Yeah, well, they're both working, too, which is rare. Let's go to Bill in Bucks on Talk Radio 1210. Bill, what's yours today?
Well, I got one from back in 1971. It's promoting the 26th Amendment of the United States.
Right.
And that amendment was when voting was changed from 21 years old to 18 years old. But they had a classic line at the very end of that PSA, and it was, "You're not a kid anymore."
All right. Very nice. Joe in Exton, I think right on the brand, maybe here. All right, Joe, what's yours today?
I guess hello, Dom, and welcome back on the air.
Thank you, Joe.
Ronald Reagan, when he was still acting, in his role as football player, Reagan would say, "Take one for the Gipper."
All right, Dan, I don't know if that's a PSA. It was win one for the Gipper. Take one for the Gipper. I don't know. All right.
Okay.
Ken in the Northeast. Hey, Ken, what's the PSA?
How you doing, Dom? Dan?
Good.
When I was growing up, that would be like in the 60s and 70s and early 80s. Cigarettes were everywhere. They were on billboards, cigarette machines, TV commercials. And then in the mid-'80s, there was a very well-known actor named Yul Brynner.
Yes.
Who I believe started the acts against cigarettes and started to get rid of cigarettes.
Yeah, the PSA where he was coming to us, although dead, right? That's the one you're talking about.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, that is a classic. Dan, I've told the story. Dr. Jacina chain smoking our family doctor during examining you. I mean,
seems like
the ashes dropping.
Horrible doctor.
What do you see there, Doc?
Yeah.
Well, with a cigarette smoke, come on, Doc. Here.
Well, I mean, he's kind of making more, work for himself, right? Could be smart.
Yeah.
Blow it in their faces,
Bruce in the Northeast. I think this is a good one. All right, Bruce, you got a jingle.
Hey.
What is it?
Yeah, Dom. A lot of people would like to sign the cast on your arm. Maybe for charity or something.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good idea. I wish I had this for the Don Jr. event.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. My answer today is a jingle from the 1960s. It
Right.
was about using your seatbelt, and this was before the seatbelts were mandatory. It's a jingle, and I guess I got to sing it, so get ready. So here it goes. It says, buckle up for safety, buckle up for safety, always buckle up. Show the world you care with the belt you wear. Buckle up for safety, everybody. Buckle up.
Wow,
very
not
nicely
bad,
done.
actually.
It sounds like he's outside today, too, Dan.
Yeah, there's something going on with the phone there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. We got some good contenders. That was a good one at the end.
I mean, Bruce just sang to us.
Yeah.
It's definitely got to be a finalist. Joe in Chester County with the Crying Indians, probably a Mount Rushmore of PSA characters, right?
Yep.
And then we've had some fun with it. Robert in Ben Salem, do you know where your kids are? It's 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are probably the three top of the day, Dom.
Yeah, what did you like the best?
When a caller sings to us, Dom, it kind of usually pushes me over the edge a little bit. And that beautiful, I meant to ask him whether or not he imbibes in the art of smoking himself, Bruce. I can imagine the answer is yes. I think Bruce Northeast deserves it for that rendition.
Is that possible? All-time smoker voices. Joan Graducci. Hi, Dom. How you doing? Possible side.
Yeah, there was some lady down in Atlantic City, Dom, that we had to. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh,
it was like exhaling her words.
All right, so that's a winner.
For safety, buckle up. Buckle up for safety, always buckle up.
Wasn't a bad rendition.
Nobody
either.
called in today with how a bill was made. And there's only one reason why,
PSA,
probably.
though,
That you can't do that because of the administrative state. They do everything. All right, thanks to Dan. Thanks to Jim. Don't forget Don Trump Jr. coming our way on September 12th. Go to 1210WPHT.com. More tomorrow. There's a follow-up. Might be a break behind the scenes here with Dan over this injury. We'll see if anybody else overrules it. Rich, see you always next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Please get your seatbelts buckled, everybody buckle up.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million